It's gamer time, everybody. Time to game in this excellent episode of High Rollers D&D. Whoa! Got you with a double bit.
Back-to-back bits.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of High Rollers D&D, a very special episode of High Rollers D&D. For there may be a little treat.
What's this noise?
Not yet.
What?
Because we have to show who's here first.
Sure.
You're going to show it anyway.
Oh, it shows it in the thing.
Do it first.
Do it first. What's this noise?
First of all, welcome to High Rollers Dungeons & Dragons, everybody. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Holmes. But first, let us show you the latest addition to the High Rollers studio. Samuel! It's finally here.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's
It's
our
so
beautiful new custom table.
Supported and funded by you.
Funded
Yeah.
by all of you. And when we did
This
that
was the big
when we did the
one.
fundraiser a year ago, over a year ago, we finally have a table. We commissioned a table from Geek & Son. They built it to our specs. We sent them designs. They came over, they measured stuff, and they've built us this completely custom,
Beautiful.
perfect, beautiful dark wood table with our logo in it. Now, we can lift this out. You'll see this in the future, where we're going to be doing, like, having maps and stuff. We can actually lift this out and have a very lovely sort of, like, inlay, which you'll see in future for, like, things like combats and stuff like that. But, yeah, we now have this gorgeous new table. A little bit of reshuffling things around, but yeah, it's looking wonderful.
Hell yes.
We have cubbies. We have
cubbies.
Yeah. So well, let's take it around. We're joined by this week by Ree, Trot, and Kim, and yeah, they've got their little cubbies. Pull something from your cubby.
I have a scrungle in
A
mine.
scrungle.
Playing Dead Space.
Can I have? Where did my scrungle go?
I've got Tiger Balm.
This might be the OG. This is the OG scrungle.
Can I have scrungle?
You can have OG scrungle.
You have the 3, right?
Tiger Balm.
triplets, yeah. I got.
Oh, I got my notes on how to fight Starbane.
Scrungle.
Oh.
And then on the other side we have Tommy H.
Hello.
Katie.
Hello.
And you can see the lovely table
I have
in these
anything?
wonderful shots.
I have a hairbrush.
I have unreleased merch.
A what?
We have unreleased
In his
merch.
cubby.
What are you saying?
Unreleased merch in the cubby. Nice.
Oh, is it in your cubby?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Here you go. Take a look at this.
Oh, cheeky.
Pretty nice merch.
But yeah, thank you guys so much again from the fundraiser. I mean, we've already thanked you enough for this amazing studio that we've gotten to build. Thanks to everybody
Already
over
thanked
there.
you enough.
We've
We've
thanked
already
you.
thanked
Thank you
We
enough.
don't get any more.
you. We don't need any more. Thanks you enough.
Hey, there's going to be there probably is a behind-the-scenes video of the table, so some nicer shots of it on Patreon and on YouTube members.
Yes, you probably want to film a bit more. I didn't film that much before you arrived, so you probably want to film a bit more. I did tell you what I filmed, and you did say you were going to
Yeah.
film
Look,
more.
Yeah.
And
If
then
it's already up,
you didn't do
then I've done it. If
Right.
it's not up,
It's coming.
that's it. But yeah, wonderful new table. Thank you guys so much for helping support that.
Thank you.
And yeah, Geek & Son, great job. Like, we commissioned it from them. Great stuff. Moving on. Before we get to today's episode, it is Easter. It is Easter time.
oh,
You have Now, there's specific ones because I did get a vegan one because it's the closest vegetarian, just in case. I was like, I just thought I'd get
Popping candy orange.
That's awesome.
I've got a couple of ones. There's a Biscoff one for a certain boy.
Oh, that's me.
And I got like generic ones for you guys.
Oh,
to
we get
decide
generic
who-
ones.
Oh, generic.
No,
Because I didn't know who
fine.
liked what. So we have like.
You have a variety.
I don't
who
like
likes-
peanut butter, so not that. Not that one.
Sure.
And then
Thank
there's
you.
Maltesers or Cadbury.
You
Can
pick
I have
one.
Maltese?
You want Maltesers?
Yeah,
Okay, there
sure.
you go.
Thank
So
you.
sponsored by Easter.
I got myself a little
Thanks.
Easter egg.
What did you get? Which one did you get?
I got just like a little normal.
Thank you, Jesus, for
Remember when
laying an
Papa
egg.
Jesus
Jesus.
popped
What do you
his
mean?
clog?
This
Are
is a
you breaking
non-religious
it? You-
chocolate egg day.
You busted
Chocolate
out the
egg
egg
day.
already. You going for it?
I was gonna.
You're just gonna eat your egg now.
Haven't even started.
I kind of
doing-
expected you to take them home and enjoy
I'm
them at
gonna
home.
cycle home with an egg in my bag. That's mental. That's
You're gonna
mental.
cycle home whilst trying to digest the egg.
That's mental.
But yeah, this is
Daddy
it's
Mark.
Happy Chocolate Egg Day. So I thought I'd grab those for you while I was in town earlier today.
Dungeon Daddy.
Thank you,
Papa.
Dungeon
More
Daddy.
than welcome. And yeah, we've already sorted the table. Hey, don't forget, if you go to freshstore.co.
Wow, he did it.
Wow. holy shit.
Freshstore.co, you can grab our merch. We've got our dice set, The Blessing, lovely, glittery, wonderful dice, sparkly dice. We can maybe if Sam still has the video, we'll shut off during the break. We can also get our core collection, I'm wearing this lovely wood print shirt.
Collection.
Cork collection. Wonderful wood print designs, hoodie, t-shirt, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, we've still got a few of those. So if you can, it's a lovely way to support us, and you get a lovely thing too. And that's it. Is there anything else that one needs
He's
to mention?
really happy right now.
His
with
little
this.
Biscoff. I saw it and I was like,
He's a little
I know a
Biscoff
certain boy who loves his Biscoff.
Little Biscoff boy.
Oh, yeah, one of these today.
You're a menace. All right, well, if there's nothing else, then I believe it is time for Dun Duns.
Done.
Done.
And done again.
That's it.
Welcome back to High Rollers Aerois. Last time, our champions were in the middle of a colossal battle against Callus Valkyrian, aka Callus Starbane, an enemy, an antagonist that has been present since their adventure began long ago. The battle at first did not seem to be going well. Callus seemed to be somewhat impervious or unaffected by many of the attacks, but slowly our champions chipped away, whittled them down, caused him to fight them seriously. And then eventually, when they thought that perhaps Callus had been defeated, he showed, for the first time, a sense of rage and spirit and emotion that overwhelmed him, and he fought even harder, nearly felling the entire party, leaving only Ayla and Quill still standing, and Ayla just barely holding on with her relentless rage. But between the two fighters, Ayla and Callus, pummeling each other with nothing but fists, Ayla won out, as her endurance kept her standing when Callus's failed. With Callus now unconscious, the party looked up to realize that the multicolored magical barrier of the cradle was no longer above them, and a figure, a woman in a white dress with starlight skin and flowing nebulous-like hair, appeared before them. Siaska, the Star Mother, the goddess of Aerois, has finally been reborn. And after a pretty touching reunion and communication with the party, but also with Callus himself, that is where we left things off. With not necessarily a warning, but a message from Siaska that perhaps now would be the time to say your goodbyes, make preparations, because the next steps will be a final mission to travel out to the farthest reaches of the astral space, to the Far Realm, to face Hadar. And that's where we're going to pick up. The first thing I'm going to do is tell off Kim for fiddling with things like a child.
Oh my
in a
god,
lesson.
that whole intro, these two are acting like naughty children, but I try and go for a pencil. I'm the naughty one.
Yep.
This is
Only
profiling.
One of us
I could
was
hear you.
rattling away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only one of you I could hear.
Profiling.
Yeah. Hey, also, we're level 20.
Yeah, that is the other part of it. Yeah, that is the other part of it. You did all achieve the last and final level up.
We're gods now.
We're never doing this again.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
As
Huge
you all
level up
reached
for old
level
Quilly
20.
Bill.
Yeah, well, you say that.
Huge, massive.
What did you get?
I got a 7th level spell slot.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's more than what I get.
But it's because I'm a level 18 cleric, level 2 wizard. That's probably why. So
Nice.
that's what I got. But I also got some HP increase as per standard level up prestige.
Nice.
So
I
happy
think
with
like Ayla, we got the ultimate champion
Primal champion.
Primal
so my strength and constitution scores went up by 4 each. So now my constitution is 24. I have a lot of hit points now.
Oh yeah, it would have increased.
I have
Every level.
338
40 bonus hit points from the con increase.
Wow.
Crazy.
Plus, Ayla has tough, plus normal level up HP. So, lots of HP.
Jesus.
And lots of strength.
Wow.
By God.
What about anybody else? Anybody else get anything exciting they want to share with the class?
Short rests allow me to get some sorcery points back.
Wow!
He's like a warlock.
Yeah. Whoopee!
Not really.
Not really. You get a few sorcery points back.
That
It's
resource you
Pretty
always
cool.
run out of.
Can't wait to short rest.
Yeah.
We're,
When are
we're
we
famous for
gonna
those.
short rest?
Yeah.
Nope.
I am a level 15, so I took the final level in fighter, so I'm 15 fighter, 5 warlock, which gave me reclaim potential, which basically means that every time my echo is destroyed, I can get temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus 3, and I can do that 3 times.
Yeah, because it's as many times you can get your echo, right?
Yeah, and I
Nuts.
got a whole bunch of hit points. I'm on 180 now,
Nice. Good.
which is a nice number to go out on.
About
That was the episode number last time.
I know.
Whoa!
Hit
I've got
point for every
157,
episode.
which is the episode,
an episode
way
we've
back.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Coincidence.
What did Sentry get?
I got the Elder Champion feat, which is
You're old now.
so basically for an action I can take on the form of an ancient force of nature. So
What?
I have a physical appearance change,
What?
and for a minute I can regain 10 hit points at the start of each of my turns. Each of my paladin spells are now bonus actions instead of actions.
What?
Why are paladins this way?
And enemy creatures within 10 feet of me have disadvantage on saving throws against my paladin spells and channel divinity options.
Oh, fuck that.
guess-
That is ridiculous.
yeah, well, my AC is 22 now.
Guess which class
on.
is favoured by wizards? I don't
I'm
know.
about to say 10 HP every turn, whatever. Like that's
Are you kidding? 10 HP
That's
every
good.
turn?
Yeah, every
Sentry,
turn.
like,
I
literally,
need that.
like, yeah, that's great.
10.
Yeah.
Every turn, though, for a minute.
Like, imagine if you're
Ten
all
rounds.
like, yeah, that's like if you're, because does it go away if you're incapacitated? The form.
It doesn't say.
Oh, that means Sentry can't.
It doesn't say.
say.
It says.
Doesn't it literally doesn't say.
I have read it and I don't believe it does. I don't believe it. Once she activates that form, it remains in
Oh
place.
my
Every
God.
spell is
It's
a bonus.
action.
This is just
Every
this is the
paladin
dumbest.
spell.
Paladin spell.
Should we
whatever.
all just be paladins?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave and just let Sentry just solo Hadar.
Yeah, yeah.
Five player paladin next.
Yeah, absolutely. Why play anything else?
I know. Man, wizards be
I'm
biased.
excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm
It's cool as
excited, but I
hell,
also want to
like,
throw up.
Lucius has to short rest for his thing.
I'm mainly salty because we didn't get a level 20 Moon Druid, which would have been
Oh god,
the same situation.
Like a level 20 fighter is you get one more extra attack. Like one more attack, so it'd be 4.
I don't even believe that's at 20th level. I think
No,
they
it's
get-
20,
is it
'cause I looked it up.
They get 5.
Yeah.
I
no,
mean,
4.
Oh, is it 4?
4, not 5. Don't get too excited about that. But if I
Well,
action
yeah.
surged and
Yeah.
did my echo thing.
4 attacks a turn is pretty
Pretty.
And I can't remember what
pretty
Warlock
good.
was, but I hated it, and that's why we changed it. Because I was like, I don't want to spend the next 5 levels doing this.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, with that
What did you get, Mark? Hadar's
everything.
now level 20.
I'm God.
True.
I get everything all the time.
Okay.
I count as 10 paladins. Right. D&D class balance discussions aside, we left things off with you still standing on the platform, hovering in the air. Oh, no, sorry, standing in Cassatoris, this dead sky city, or this now empty, silent sky city, with Siaska, Valor, Callus, and Maximilian. And that was where we wrapped things up last time, with Callus being reunited with Siaska. So, we can pick up right back there, or we can jump ahead a little bit and say that you guys have, traveled back, you are in some sort of safety wherever you would like to be, and then pick things up from there. Quite a few of you, I got messages from a few of you saying things that you'd like to do. I do have those notes down here, so we can jump into those at any point, but to set things up, certain people didn't send me anything.
Some people have full-time jobs, bitch. I'm sorry, I'm still pissed about this fucking paladin thing. You know, I would have got a
He's
level
like
20
level
cleric.
7.
What would you have gotten?
Nothing. I checked. Level 20, there is actually nothing there for cleric.
What? Surely there is.
Well, divine intervention has a
it goes a bit
100%
better.
chance, but again, that's still a 7-day recharge.
That's pretty
That's pretty big.
That's so huge.
I call God and go, yo, God, do a cool thing.
Do you
God's
remember
like,
how
I got your
useful
back,
that
bro.
was?
Don't
Just
worry.
real quick, my god's dead. So that wouldn't work.
Technically, Siaska.
Yeah, so you'd get
So,
Siaska.
yeah.
Oh, sure, but still, that's once every 7 days.
Yes, so?
Still pretty good.
And I'm furious.
4 points.
I intervened.
Sure rest.
Is that what you get? 4
4.
sorcery.
4 sorcery points.
How was that, like a second level spell or something?
My
God.
lay on hands is 100 now, by the way, as well. So 100 HP on it.
So you'll lay on hands. What is that to do with action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Lay on hands is actually, I'm not mad about lay on hands.
It's
I
good.
think
I
lay
like
on
lay on
hands is
hands.
good.
It's handy.
Yeah.
yeah,
and
it's
worth-
not
it's
a
like-
spell slot, and it's more
Yeah.
powerful than heal.
Oh my god, the Eldritch
But it is an action, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like spell slots.
He's gonna leave this room. He just squirmed a little bit in his chair because he couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Level 20 Warlock is silly. Basically, you can spend a minute entreating your Patreon for aid to regain all your expended cell slots, but you can only do once a long rest.
And you
So-
get like 3
Yeah.
spell slots.
Yeah, so I can go, please, sir, can I have my free spell slots back?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good
You can
shit.
do that once per long rest.
Well,
This is
make sure you all message Jeremy Crawford.
Oh, I have.
We've got
Oh, I
Dear
have.
Jeremy.
I've lit a
Not
bonfire outside his house and gone, what is this doing?
It's not emitting light. Happy for you, Ree.
Thanks.
Yeah, real happy.
So,
I'm pretty chuffed about my hit points and my
that's
my modifiers
22
going up.
Ridiculous.
I'm just real tough now.
Carry on, Mark.
Sorry.
at this point, I'm waiting for you guys to tell me, like, do you want to just pick it up right back where we left off with, you guys in Castoris, or do we want to kind of jump ahead and maybe have you guys go back to Horizon or be on the Stormchaser and we pick things up from there? Because I have a list of stuff to do, but like it's going to really be down to like, because a lot of this stuff is like one-on-one or like one of you with me.
So I'm thinking
So-
maybe we just take some time with each individual.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the sky to turn red now the cradle's gone.
Okay.
Just the fleets busting down through. Burner
What-
road.
Well, please.
The fleet's under our control. Has he actually said that yet?
No.
He hasn't, but well, not necessarily that they'll be under your control, but yeah, it's we can pick things up. There would be a period where, if we sort of condense down the events that take place, Siaska would basically appear to all the people of Aerois in temples and churches, to clerics and priests, with a message to say that she has returned, that the cradle has come down because she is returned to life. Explaining that Hadar is this great threat that exists beyond the stars, and that there is going to be a journey to go and face them, and to basically protect the world of Aerois. You guys wouldn't necessarily see that message, but it will become apparent when you return to places like Horizon that people aren't terrified that the cradle is gone. Like, they are aware of why it's gone. People are talking about the return of this goddess, and it's kind of thrown a lot of stuff into question. There's a lot of faiths, any of the faiths dedicated specifically to the Titans are sort of asking, like, well, where have the Titans gone? I can't hear Atelicus, I can't hear Hesper, I can't hear Kalara anymore. And so there's this ongoing discussion about what's happening with the gods, or goddess in this case, just the singular one now. Callus would probably, again, you wouldn't necessarily be part of this conversation, but you would see the effects of it. The Imperial forces, the Valkyrian Empire, retreats from Aerois. Any currently established forces leave, returning back up into astral space, ready to prepare for what is to come. They'd been holding off. There hadn't been any conflicts for months now, because of the Callus's withdrawal and sort of going to investigate what you had shown him in the visions. But it is still strange to see, now that the cradle is gone, there is not even a need for use of gateways. They board transport, like airships, sealed sort of like for built so that they can withstand astral space, and they fly up into the sky, returning to the many ships that lie just beyond the now breaking sort of sun, up into the night sky, leaving you all in this bizarre, serene period. No more threats, no more fights, knowing that there are more to come, but for the moment, perhaps a few days, perhaps a week, Aerois will know peace. No more Titans to cause issues, no more Valkyrian force. There is a sense of quiet and calm. A calm before a storm, but calm. We return to Horizon, where Danica and Rain and many of the others that you have been working with are busy preparing themselves. Now, unsure what the next steps will be, but having heard this message from Siaska, knowing that ultimately, it's not over, but not really sure what else to do. The plan, Siaska hasn't shared the details of this plan, just saying that there is a journey that will happen, that many soldiers and warriors may be called upon to travel to fight and face against the forces of Hadar. That the Valkyrian Empire is no longer a threat, will not be an enemy of Aerois. And that is, people are not really sure what is happening. So yeah, you guys return. Who would like to go first? If somebody has something that they would like to do first, I will happily take a volunteer. She gave me a lot of cool stuff, but I'm happy to take it all. Tom and Katie, if Ayla and Quill have things that they want to do as stuff comes up, if you think of stuff, just jump in.
Should probably send a message to my mum, right? Yeah.
Well, out of the three folks that sent me some stuff, does anybody like to go first? And what would you like to do?
D6.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. Kim, Nova Vija.
I can't remember what I said, and I literally just sent it to you yesterday.
Well, being in Horizon, for the moment, there's no sign of Tiangong. They vanished during the fight with Callus. Having been infused with the memories of the Tiangong you carried, this other Tiangong, seemingly confused or perhaps overwhelmed, fled. They have not returned yet. In Horizon, Thalia and the crew are probably gathering supplies. They've been spending more time on the Astoria, which has I think by now Horizon would have caught up to the Astoria, and both the Astoria and Horizon are stationed not far from this empty sky city of Cassatoris. Like, they are near the Halls of Resplendence. And so there's kind of like they're jumping between the two, grabbing supplies in Horizon, going back to the Astoria to work on the Twin Star. The Twin Star longbow, Thalia's astral sort of space fighter, has been renovated, undergone some changes, made for both atmospheric flight here on Aerois, but still capable of astral flight. Its wingspan has been shortened to fit into one of the Astoria hangar bays, but it's been shaped and given new engines and things like that. Basically built so that it can be docked within the Astoria, and that's been taking up most of their time with these retrofits. But you can find those guys. Your family is also here in Horizon, or in Gusthaven, I believe you sent them to, which could easily be accessed with teleportation circles. I believe so. That was the last time where we had the dinner and you left them there.
Oh yeah, because they were on Horizon.
Yes.
I think they hopped over.
Yep.
Well, the short bit is I was going to suggest that after we all kind of finish our things, I was going to suggest that we had a family meal cooked by my mother before we head on out. I wanted to ask, I guess, Tornado, if there was any news of Vortensar. And because for the first time ever, they are without a leader, because obviously Vortensar was always led by someone born of all four elements, and now that person is gone. So, I guess, yeah.
You find Tornado on Horizon, probably spending some time at one of the old sky jousting arena, now no longer being used for sports and games, being used as maybe a place where they've set up sort of triage fields for like, or refugee tents and things like that for folks who don't have a place in the city to stay. But you find him there, maybe in the comfort of somewhere familiar. And many of the Ganassi that he had brought, that you guys had rescued from Vortensar, the Seekers, have basically found this place and kind of set themselves up here in Horizon in the old Sky Jousting Arena. And there are many camps. You smell the familiar smells of Ganassi food. You hear a few kind of like Ganassi voices chattering amongst themselves, telling stories or singing or keeping themselves entertained. And you find Tornado maybe in the midst of like carrying a bunch of like new supplies, like various pieces of equipment to set up new tents and temporary housing for a few more Ganassi that have made their way to Horizon. And he'll kind of see you from a distance, finish putting everything down. I'll be like, little nerd.
Oh, hi, brother.
He'll come over and give you a big hug. Just wraps his big arms around you, like. And it holds that hug for maybe just a moment longer than would be like silly or playful, and it becomes endearing to that moment of like, you feel that tightness of like not wanting to let you go. Eventually he does. And he kind of says like, is everything okay? I mean, I've heard that the goddess, the Siaska, kind of appeared and has like been saying that, everything's changing.
Yeah, we helped her come back. And now she's gonna help us go and fight Hadar. So that's next.
Okay. Is that far?
Quite far, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not on this planet.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I gathered that bit, but I
Yeah.
don't really know, like, is it like a day? Is it like, how far?
Quite far.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go on sky ships. You saw the Astoria.
Yeah, the big crystal land ship thing.
Exactly, big
Yeah.
crystal land ship thing.
Okay, I don't know the smart words for it, but I know what it is. I'm not that stupid.
Sorry, I know. Sorry, it's been a long day.
It's fine. Yeah, things are okay here. We're getting a lot of people now that a lot of Ganassi know that we're here. They're sort of making their way here. The people that left Vortensar or didn't want to stay, they've made their way here, and we're trying to make everybody as comfortable as they can. And quite a few of the Seekers and we're kind of just trying to keep things together. And the Fire Lady's been really nice. She's been letting us kind of like stay here and making sure we've got everything we need. And we've been helping out basically, because we want to make sure we're not just getting everything for free. We've been trying to do work we can, and people have been helping out with various things going around. And this new ship, that Astoria, people have been doing a lot of work to help with that. A lot of the there's like a creepy dead lady, and she's pretty scary. But apparently, a lot of the Ganassi architecture and engineering helps with the Astoria ship, and she said that we may be able to help with that. So they've been doing a lot of work to help them build and fix things on that, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Azaria Perel. Skulls.
Yeah,
Lots of skulls.
Creepy dead lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, people are leaving Vortensar?
No, these are the people that had already left before everything. Yeah, the people that lived around Aerois and hadn't been in Vortensar didn't want to go back.
So, do you know what's happening there?
Well, I still speak to Norfear occasionally. She's been keeping an eye on it there. She said that right now it's kind of not like chaos, but people don't really know what to do. The destruction of like the statue of Kali and many of the other parts of the city, they're still trying to rebuild and clear things out, but they just don't really. Right now, I think they're just sort of in survival mode. They don't really know what's next. Apparently that because there's not a new harmony, there's talk about maybe the council taking over, and nobody just seems to know. But I think all of the Valkyrians have left as well. They all fled when the goddess lady, this Siaska, appeared. Apparently they've been fleeing.
Question in my brain, fallen out of brain. with Shansara leaving and dying, and the forces going, are people still talking of going home? Do they still want to go?
I think right now, from what North has told me and some of the things that we're hearing, people here, some of the families here are still getting messages and things like that from people in Vortensar, either asking them to come home or, asking what's going on and things like that. It sounds like they don't really know. Right now, they're just focused on rebuilding and getting through the next few days. But I think the plan is that most of them still want to go home, yeah.
Well, that's okay. When we solve this thing with Hadar, we should be able to do that safely, the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all the plans to teleport the city, they're gone now that there's a lot of the facilities in the city don't work anymore. The things like the a lot of the engineering and magic and things like that doesn't seem to be working. So I don't think that, from what we hear, and none of the university, the Atlas Academy, doesn't seem to understand. They don't think that they can make any more teleportation devices work. So I think if we were to go home, it would have to be on these astral ships or something like that. That's the only way I think that people would be able to do that now.
That's okay. We can make that happen. We can do it that way. At least everyone will have an informed choice and a safe choice to make it home. In all this conversation, do I hear anything from Shansara or Harmony?
No, it's definitely, there's not enough of a presence for you to hear words. There's feelings. You get a sense of loss and guilt from Harmony, especially hearing that there isn't a leader, that they're unsure what to do. Maybe even a sense of relief, being free of the stress of leadership. But it's kind of all tangled together, and it's like feeling somebody else's emotions, but they're distant and quiet. They're not overpowering. They don't overwhelm you or your senses or your thoughts or feelings, but they're there. Shansara's is different. There is a sadness, but when you talk about them still being able to go home, maybe a little bit of hope, a little bit of satisfaction almost, but yeah, not enough. It's like they're not like spirits that are possessing you. They're not spirits that are trapped in your soul. This is like echoes of who they were. So you still get, like, they react to things, but they're not conscious beings in a sense. Like, this is like an after image of their soul burnt into you. Is that kind of mentality.
I guess like when you overlay a negative.
It just burns in, yeah. Something like that. Not quite a ghost or a spectre, but just like a burnt-in memory. Yeah.
Nova thinks about summoning them to just see, like... But then thinking that through, perhaps now's not the time. Like, it doesn't... Looking around at the refugees and everything, it just doesn't feel like the time to complicate things further.
And it is very obvious that looking around, like, this is a case of Danica and the people of Horizon are trying their best to actually provide a good space for the Seekers and then any other Ganassi who are kind of feel like they're without a place to go. This isn't like they're being well looked after here. But yeah.
So I guess aside from that, the only other thing I wanted to do, but I don't know if we want to jump to something
Yeah,
else.
that's what I was thinking. Like, we'll do one
Yeah,
thing and jump. If you're happy with everything you've had a chat with Tornado about.
I'd hang out with Tornado a bit, help out a little bit with the camp, and
Yeah,
just...
of course. Like, yeah, and it's you see a lot of familiar faces from your time in Vortensar aiding the Seekers, but also from your memories as a child, like families and people that you knew and people that were close with Tornado and your family, and maybe people that you didn't know very well, but like you kind of recognize from around, like maybe you met them at the Atlas Academy once, but you didn't really speak to them or anything like that. And roll a persuasion. And this is not an active thing you're doing. This is more like just a people's response to you in general.
Just realised I banished all my d20s.
None left.
Persuasion, they're all gone. Persuasion. Oh, it's a 9.
A 9.
That one's gone too.
Yeah, that one's gone too.
There is this weird sense of nobody's rude or unappreciative of your efforts, but you get the sense of like there is a mixed feeling here amongst everybody. There are people who are concerned, or certainly you're not sure if they blame you necessarily, but there is a sense of like, oh man, like we don't know what happened. The last thing we saw was Nova fighting against Harmony and Shansara, and then it all kind of went wrong. And it's, like I said, it's not like there's blame. Nobody's like giving you horrible looks or evil looks or anything like that. It's more that there's an uncertainty here.
Yeah.
People do appreciate the help, but it's like they definitely lean more on Tornado. And there is that little maybe touch of like, this is a Nova question, like how would Nova feel? Like, would Nova feel comfort, or would it feel a bit uncomfortable to be there? I don't know. That's more for Nova to decide. But the people here are definitely there is a wariness.
I think she'd feel she deserved it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, she still thinks that she did wrong.
She blames herself.
And she blames herself for everything. And she feels guilty that she came back and they didn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair enough.
So she understands.
Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. In that case, let's do Lucius. You sent me a bunch of different things. Is there one in mind whilst you are here? Don't forget, it's easy to travel between Horizon and Gusthaven. It's literally a teleport circle which you have been given basically free access to.
I'm wondering if Lucius is going to invite all the people he wants to speak to Nova's mums.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I can't imagine they're all going to be like very long conversations. They're going to be kind of like...
Yeah, short things. Well, I mean, like,
but while I'm
Valor
here,
and Maximilian are also here in Horizon as well.
Yes, I might speak to Valor.
Sure.
Briefly.
Yep. Yeah, you find Valor has probably maybe a day after you guys travel back to Horizon. Valor and Maximilian both appear in a triangle portal door. They appear back in your old suite, back up in the keep that used to the Citadel, and she's gathering like her books and her supplies and things like that. Looking almost like she's packing up to take her things elsewhere. And Rain would probably send word like, oh, champions like Lady Valor and Maximilian are here up in the keep if you did want to see them. They said that they're not going to be here for very long, but they are sticking around. So, if Lucius wants to head there, and like if anybody else wants to,
then yeah, it's not going to be like a private conversation or anything.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Ayla and Quill head with you. Nova Sentry, would you guys want to head up and speak to Valor?
I'll probably be doing...
The stuff with Tornado and
Yeah.
stuff. Sure. Okay. Sentry?
Yeah, could do.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you guys make your way up there, heading way up into the keep. You remember being attacked here when Zarkira tried to kidnap Valor and things like that. But it's now safe, it's now secure, and you find yourself back in that library room that Valor had sort of taken over when she was researching the Titans and how to invade the demi-planes, and she is in the process of packing her things up into several kind of like leather satchels and bags. Maximilian is dutifully carrying various things. There's like a big trunk that he's currently carrying and setting in place, and you can see that they've sketched out a teleport circle on the ground to use. As you guys all arrive, in the middle of it, and like Valor will be like, oh, hello. Yes, come in, Lucius. Sorry, everyone. Did Rain reach out to you? We did say to send word that we were here.
Yes. That's why we're here.
Good. I'm afraid we're not staying that long.
No? Not even for dinner?
Well, we can come back any time. One of the benefits of having time and space magic is we can come back any time, really. It's more that I'm setting myself up on the Tassadar.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I just
feel safe there.
I do. And I know Maximilian misses being with, his people, and I do want to spend a bit more time with my father.
I'm sure Max is quite happy to hear that.
You see him, he just like nods, but you can see that he's repressing like a kind of like very happy look. Like he's trying to keep like a stoic like knight's expression, like he just says, whatever Lady Valor wishes. I'm happy to go wherever.
You can smile, Max. You can smile.
I'm well
Go
aware.
on,
I'm well
go
aware.
on,
No, but I'm
go on.
happy for whatever Lady Valor wishes. If Lady Valor
him.
wishes to be, please do not. Keep in mind that I am part fire giant. My body is extremely warm.
I can take it.
Yeah, if anyone.
Still, please do not.
I won't,
Ayla's
but,
been training all her life to tickle you.
I don't. That's inaccurate. However, you can smile.
I am happy
It's a
to be.
good day.
I am happy to be returning to a life that I'm familiar with. Yes, but Lady Valor's needs and wishes come first. But if she wishes to return, I will return with her, of course. And Valor's just like, yeah, we will absolutely be coming back. But I was there last time, not quite a prisoner, but not there by my own choice. This time I want to choose to spend time with him and learn more about the Empire, learn more about him and Mother. Now that she's back, the things I heard them talk about, I want to know more.
I think he could learn from you as well.
She kind of looks and she's like, I think so too. I think so too. I think that we were watching, Max and I, we watched your fight, and seeing that other side to him, seeing that calculated nature of the Valkyrian Emperor go away, and this wild, reckless fighter. I want to know what he was like before. I think only Mother can really tell me about that. He won't.
It was like he was having fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But
Still.
responsibility, I'm guessing.
Well, you know, he's very old. Not old, like old, but he's lived a long time. He's thousands of years old, longer than he should have been alive. I still don't quite know why. It's something to do with his adventures before, something he did, or a blessing, or a power that he gained. But he's lived a long time. I think that that's worn him down. You know, I saw in that fight with you this jagged mountain, sharp and full of dangers and edges. But then when I saw him as the Emperor, it was like all of that had been worn away to just this enduring, faceless rock, this plain stone. I want to know more, and I can't do that here. But I'm glad you all came.
Of course. We're always going to be here, Valor. We had to say goodbye.
Well, this isn't goodbye. This isn't goodbye. I'm moving out. Think of it that way.
Well, I'm not ready. You've grown too quickly.
I forget that you did know me as you spent a lot of time with me when I was little, when I was a child, really. I know it must be strange for me to be an adult now. To me, it's like I've grown up normally, but just did it quicker than everyone does. But I know for you it must be strange.
In a weird
not
way,
really.
it's not.
Not for me.
I do forget you are only a few years old, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's been a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it really has.
But also a really long time.
It's been what? Just over a year, 2 years? We've been...
I've been meaning to ask you.
Please.
The Sparrow Blade. That first airship where we were all together.
Yes,
And you were taken by Yusef and Corin.
that's right.
You were heading to Gusthaven,
Yes.
which I found sentimental for me. But I'd like to know why they were taking you there, why you were going there. Do you remember?
I hate to disappoint you, Lucius, but I never knew. They woke me up in the middle of the night. Yusuf, in particular. She woke me up. She was scared. She was panicked. She just said that we had to leave. That she, what did she say? She knew something about me, and I couldn't stay where we were. I couldn't stay in the temple. They had to leave. And that was the last, and then after that we were on the airship. We didn't get much time to talk, or I didn't get a chance to ask them many questions. And then obviously everything happened. We crashed, there wasn't really any more room to talk about it. And then, then that Goliath took me and they were gone. I can guess now that it's something to do with who I am and who my father is and who my mother is. But I don't know exactly what Yusef was thinking or what she was intending to do. I'm sorry. I wish I could solve the mystery, but you know, was only a little girl. I didn't really know to ask. I didn't know what signs to look out for back then.
Well, I'll fill in the gaps with my own ideas. You came to see the Elenasters.
If that's what will make you happy, I think that's...
It's likely because we're a great refuge.
Maybe. I don't... Yeah, I wish I could say.
Gusthaven is known for its refugees and its great laws.
There's also that secret room as well.
Secret room? That wasn't built at the time, Quill.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
He just wanted to say
Also,
it
don't
in case
tell everybody.
there was literally, like, there could have been one person that heard, so he had to say it, you know?
True.
Really got the word out.
Yeah.
Well, to go back to what you said, if you're having dinner, absolutely let us know. Just Quill, if Quill sends me a message, me and Max will come from anywhere. That's, and she just does this, and there's like a portal opens behind her, and she's like, nice thing of this does make getting around pretty easy.
I mean, you've gained full control of that ability now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, Mother says that space is my gift, being able to join places together. But she did say that there would be an element of time as well, which I've played around with, but I'm still struggling with that one. Space, I feel like I've gotten under control pretty well, but the other stuff is still pretty tricky. It kind of boggles my brain a little bit.
Well, now you've got both parents to learn from.
Yeah, Mother's already done a lot. We speak a lot in our minds. I mean, she's told me that whilst Father is mortal technically, he's powerful enough, and with her divine spark in me, it's likely that eventually I might not just be a demi-goddess. It may grow. This power will manifest. It may take hundreds of years. It may take thousands. I don't know. But that's kind of a strange concept to be aware of, that I'm going to live that long. I mean, a year and a half ago, I thought I was a normal human girl. But we'll see.
We couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you, Sentry.
You're amazing.
Yeah, your dad wanted us to prove ourselves worthy of taking care of you because you're his daughter, but you're our family too.
Yeah. She'll just agrees, comes up, gives hugs.
Also, we're the cool family because we gave you a knife.
Yeah, I will never forget that. Although he did take my knives.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll ask him for them back. I'm sure he won't argue anymore, but no, you will always be my family as well.
Good. We'll see you at dinner, yes?
Absolutely. You just send the word. We'll be there.
Great.
All right. And yeah, they will finish packing up and teleport their stuff to the town star. Right. Sentry? Or
It's gonna get worse.
Maybe.
Oh, it will.
You know me. Can't help it. Leaky eyes. Medical condition. I got leaky eyes.
Allergies.
Yeah. It's not even allergies, just they leak. Sentry?
Yeah.
You sent me a few things. Is there one in particular? I mean, I think that they're sort of in order, right? Yeah. It wouldn't be hard to make that happen.
Okay.
You could let Vala know, and she can pass word on. You could just kind of have a quiet word and be like, hey, you can pass a message for me. But it'll be up to you for you to set the time, place, where, if you want to be alone.
I'd want to speak to him in person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It'd be in
Yeah.
person, yeah. Would you want to go on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a place in mind anywhere on Aerois?
Probably the Hawkstorm Archipelago.
Just like on the ocean, or like...
Just around there, yeah, around Volcanos, around...
Okay, yeah, so like somewhere safe-ish around there. Sure. Sentry, for the rest of you, Sentry takes a leave. Do you say where you're going? You want to talk to these guys about it?
I'll just tell the guys I need to clear some things before, obviously, we do the big thing that's coming. There's someone I need to talk to. Won't be long. I just...
Do you need any of us with you?
It's okay. It's, very personal.
Okay.
We'll keep a plate warm for you.
Please do. I think I'll need it.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I give a messenger ring. Just in case.
Okay.
I'll attune to this, you attune to that.
Yeah. Sounds
Need
good.
anything, you let us know, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right. Yeah. Also, you guys tune to it. You got that. So if you need to send a message to Lucius, you can do.
I got it on check, because
I don't have any.
Fine.
Disintegrated.
You send word, and Valor would offer to take you there. She takes you to a small, mostly rocky island. It's uninhabited, but it's small. There's grass, there's a few wildflowers, a couple of shrubs and bushes, but not much else. A couple of rocky outcroppings, a few seabirds and things like that. It's not much. Just quite a few miles off the coast of where around Volcanoes would have been. But it looks out onto the wide, glassy ocean, which you know. You know what's below the waves here. Not long after you arrive, there is a kind of shimmering in the air, purple light almost beams down from up above, like a shooting star falls down. And in a burst of violet light, Callus Valkyrian stands there. He's healed completely, no sign of his wounds, his armor fixed, back in that slim-fitting black armor, but no weapon, no Tiangong with him this time. You're the one sentry, yes?
Yes,
My daughter said you wish to speak with me.
I do.
He just sort of stands. Please.
I'm sure you recognize where we are.
He looks around. I do not say this to upset you, but I'm afraid I do not. I do not know this place.
Okay.
Much has changed here on Aerois. It's been a long time.
Yes. Well, if we are to fight side by side, then I need to tell you how I feel. I understand that there's a bigger purpose to all of this, but if you could just listen to me, at least it would mean something.
You were a mighty warrior. I will
was.
listen to you, of course.
This was where my home was. Solvin.
When you say the name, he nods. Absolute recognition.
You destroyed my life. My whole world. And not a day goes by where I haven't thought about it. Mourned for good people who never got a chance to say goodbye. Solvin was beautiful, it was peaceful, and we only wanted to share what we had with Aerois. Our knowledge, our technology, all of it was lost because of you. You robbed a city of its people, a young girl of her family, a guardian of her purpose. We brought Sieska back, and I'm so proud of what we have accomplished, but it hurts seeing the love you have for her. You get another chance with someone that you love deeply, and I can't get any of the people that I love back. They're all gone. And my friends will say it's all worth it. They've lost people too, and there's a bigger cause at stake here. But I know how heavy the burdens they carry are. I know how it feels. I'm tired. I'm tired of the past and the pain that you hold over me. I just want to let it go.
He listens. He waits to make sure that you've said everything you wish to. And then he looks out. I heard many tales of Solvin when I first came here. Our greatest adversaries on Aerois. The hardest fights. Bravest warriors. I never came here myself, but I heard of it. I can say sorry century of Aerois. But that won't bring you much comfort, will it?
Talking to you I feel like I just needed to do it.
I understand.
There's also somebody else I need you to talk to too.
If that will ease this burden I have placed on you, I will do it. I do not say this as an excuse. Seeing you hearing these words after our battle, a battle that that shook me from a slumber I have been in for 1,000 years. I have lost a lot of people too. I lost my home. I lost people who would never live again. And I remember that feeling. This feeling, the hurt, the rage, the anger. And it carried me for a long time. He looks out over the ocean. Gideon was much like Solvin. But over the thousands of years that I've been alive, I think I lost track of all of that. I forgot what it was to mourn, to lose. And I am sorry. Sorry for bringing you that pain that I have forgotten. I know I cannot bring it back, and that these words will matter little in the face of the deaths of the people you cared for. But you have reminded me of something. Whoever you wish for me to speak to, I will go.
She's in Horizon. Her name is Petal.
He stands up. I know that Siaska has made my intentions clear, but it may be better if I do not appear as I do now. I'm not sure that your people of this horizon would be eager to see me. I will disguise myself whilst I travel. I can open the way for us, but you are familiar with this place?
I am, yes.
Will you allow me to at least touch your shoulder so I can conjure us there?
Okay.
He'll come over and he'll place like an armored hand on your shoulder. He holds up his gauntlet and you can see like a purple gemstone in it. Very similar to the stuff he was doing when he was replicating spells. And he casts his hands, closes his eyes, and a purple portal will appear. And you see through it leads to Horizon. And then he taps 3 times on the collar of his armor, and it disguises himself as a fairly standard-looking soldier with a helmet that covers his face. And he just nods. Take me,
Okay.
wherever you wish.
I'll lead him through.
He follows you. He steps through, and you lead him towards the shop. And he looks around. You see he's taking it in. Doesn't speak much, but he kind of looks around. He glimpses, looks at places and things. Doesn't ask any questions, doesn't talk, but kind of takes it all in. And eventually, you lead him to a little shop with plants, little Magitech clockwork toys, petal shop.
And I'll just gesture to Starbane to show him, like, through the window. Is Petal inside? Or is she?
Yeah, she's probably back there and she's like, cleaning, like she's, rearranging things. She's maybe fiddling with a few little magical devices, and she doesn't make any like magic items. She makes things for regular people. She makes like a watering can that doesn't run out of water. She makes like little devices that allow them to listen to music and things like that, like little toys and conveniences. And then also just flowers, like a florist's mixed in. And she's there, just happily, like maybe trimming some dead branches off a plant, repotting something, like probably singing happily. She's innocent. It's pure innocence. And he looks through the window. This girl.
She's very precious to me.
Who is she?
She is my ward. Well, when Solvin was still around, I used to look after her. Her parents are gone. Her family's gone. Her home was gone.
You wish her to meet me as I am? Or for me to meet her simply?
Simply for now, I think.
Very well. He gestures. Should I go first or you?
I'll go in.
Okay. He just nods. You open the door. Ding, 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 ding. Little doorbell. Petal, it's like, just a minute. And then she kind of turns. She's like, sentry! And she kind of sees you and lights up and steps in. And the shop, it's got that wonderful smell of a florist. All those fresh flowers mixed in together, with that delightful kind of like heady green scent. And she just runs up, throws her arms around you, like smiling brightly. She's like, oh, I need to show you all the new orchids I've got in. You'll love them. They're so pretty. And like she'll like take you over to like an arrangement and like, almost not letting you get a word in. Like, no, come and see them. And like shows you this, elegant sort of vase with these orchids on display. And she's like, watch this. And then she claps and little legs come out the vase and it moves over and sits back down.
They're beautiful.
I know, I thought you'd like them. They're from somewhere like Alsaref, I think. It's like a place north.
Wow.
They've got beautiful flowers up there. Apparently it's very rich in magic.
There's somebody outside that...
But he's probably stepped in behind you. He's like in the door.
There's someone here that I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, sure.
But obviously, like, if you don't want to talk to anyone, just tell me.
No,
like...
I'm always happy to talk to people, Sentry. And she is literally like not realizing what you're kind of implying. She's like, hi there. And she like turns to this soldier. And she's like, hi there, I'm Petal. And he just sort of looks down, looks at her, looks towards you. And he kind of knightly bows. Petal, greetings. And then he sort of turns his head. And you see Petal's kind of like looking between the two, like, oh, is he a friend of yours or somebody that you know? Or
This is Callus Valkyrian.
Petal kind of stops and like looks at him, and then he taps and slides on his collarbone, and just the helmet changes. Still keeps the sort of Horizon City Guard armor on, but his helmet magically vanishes, and then the long hair kind of spills out. The imperious face looks down. Petal looks at him, sort of cocks her head, sort of almost is like sizing him up. I thought you'd be bigger. And he kind of smiles, like he kind of cocks a kind of half grin, or not full grin, but like smirk. And she kind of looks at him. I mean, I of course know who he is. I read all about him and everything that happened in Solvin. Why are you here? And she just like looks at him like, what are you doing here?
We're about to, well, we're going to be leaving soon. Hadar's coming.
I heard the goddess came and told everyone. A lot of the priests came and spread the word amongst everyone. You're going to fight him, aren't you?
We have to.
Petal doesn't care about Callus. Like, when she kind of thinks about you going to fight Hadar, that kind of takes her attention, and she kind of looks. I don't want you to go, but I know you have to.
I don't want to go. I mean, at least we get a chance to say goodbye this time, in case.
But you'll come back.
I'll come back. I will. I'm just scared.
But if you're scared, do you have to?
No, I need to be scared, I think. I think the fear will help.
Petal just sort of like nods and just comes up, hugs tight.
It means that there's something worth fighting for if I'm afraid.
Yeah. I think Mother used to say something similar. He always used to say that being brave isn't not being afraid. it's doing things even when you are. And you're the bravest person I know.
And you're the light of my life. You're what's kept me going. Just the thought of you, just knowing that you're here.
I'll always be here. I mean, we're both from so long ago. We found each other even after 100, 200, 500 years. I'll still be here.
And I'll do my best to come back.
I know you will.
I promise. I'll just give her a big hug.
Yeah. Callus watches all of this. When there's a moment when you break from the hug, he kneels to Pethel. I have done you a great disservice. I've robbed you of a family, of a home, of a future. There are no words to apologize for such a deed. But perhaps I can repay it by making sure any gestures to you that someone you care about returns. Whatever the cost, I will see this done.
Sentry would just nod to Starbane and say, thank you.
He stands. You need no thanks. You have proven yourself a warrior and a hero. It is only right that you get to return to a peaceful world. It is all I have ever wanted. For you, for the galaxy, even for myself. If we are done, I will leave you here in return.
Sentry will extend a hand to Starbane.
He nods, reaches out, takes it. It's like a, maybe not even like a hand, it's the soldier's kind of clasp. And he just nods.
We'll see you near the end.
I will be with you every step of the way. And he walks out the door, and just outside Petal's shop, taps his wrist, slides it, vanishes in a streak of purple light.
I didn't want to break
No,
the
no, it's great.
tension and give it to
That's
you.
fine. Ugh, I'm not getting it out my
shit.
fucking mouth.
I've been
Oh, you know what?
trying
I got
not
loads
to go
more
with that
tissues
whole
if you need
time.
them.
Right.
Marie,
You need
you
a tissue?
deserve that level 20 ability. I take it back.
I'm good.
It's only me that needs them. Old leaky eyes over
I'm going to have to
No,
get a
I
new
almost
pack
went.
for the next few episodes.
I've got
it. All right.
a whole roll of kitchen rolls.
Probably a good idea.
So who wants to follow that?
I don't. So I haven't had a chance to think properly about stuff
Fine.
yet.
Take some time.
So I'm just gonna take a little bit of time and get back to you.
Yeah, I've got an idea
Okay.
of what I'd like to do as Quill, separate from everyone else. I guess I am now following this.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck.
So
Can I just, sorry,
maybe I won't.
that was great.
It was.
Thank you for that moment.
It was
Thank you
lovely.
for that moment.
Well, I got a message from Ree and I read it and I was like, fucking awesome.
I think as soon as,
As
you
soon
said,
as you
I
said,
want to
"I'm
go
gonna meet
somewhere, I was
someone,"
like, oh, there's going, yeah. Yeah.
As soon as you said I want to meet someone, I was like,
She got
she going
words.
to talk to
Someone to
Starbane.
talk to.
There's a telling off coming.
Something's been brewing.
Well, not even necessarily. It's a telling off, but it's also like I'm telling you this is what has
Yeah,
happened.
we have
It's
to
just-
clear this if we're gonna,
A bit of closure before then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Tom.
I mean,
Quill.
For Quill, I think he would use this time because he spends all of his life looking at the future, or directly,
Yeah, quite literally.
and he would invite everyone else to this, depending on how much time we necessarily have or how much time they spend doing their thing.
You've got
We got all the time in the world, baby.
as much time as you
Till
want to take.
Hinar eats
Yeah, anything more than a week is maybe like, maybe, but
We got a
like,
few days.
you
I've
got
got
a
a
few
dentist.
yeah.
You do? Okay. Well,
Sorry.
Washing
that's
my hair
okay.
then.
You do
Yeah.
that.
Wait,
Washing your
Ayla
hair?
doesn't do that.
I don't believe you. So I think Quill would want to spend some time looking back instead, at risk of making this a clip show episode.
You remember when?
Because Kim delivered this to me today, and it is the very first map we ever had in Aerois. Complete with doodles and little notes, where the Sparrow Blade crashed, as you mentioned, where little camps were, the journey we took to get out of there. And I think Quill would like to... I mean, he was on pilgrimages and stuff before he discovered Sentry, after crashing into the ground, and I think it would be nice for Quill to find where the Sparrow Blade crashed and try and take that journey again, and throughout it, happily using the Eye of the Storm, even if it uses charges or whatever else, to ask questions and to see literally like us in the past as we're like gliding from the Sparrow Blade after attacking the Metal Panther thing. Vala using her like purple magic for the very first time.
Yep.
Ayla slipping over in the river
Thank you.
and all of us laughing at her.
I don't think anyone was brave enough except you.
No.
Yeah,
In
no.
your head, you were laughing at her,
Yeah.
but when you watch the vision back, you realise that everyone's just like... But you're like, no, we were laughing at her, and then it's just like all of you like peeking, like looking terrified.
Yeah, and I get to like an open field at one point, and I look into a vision, and it's Quill saying, "Lucius, do it," and he charges over a hill
Yep.
at a load of
cow.
cows. And probably ending like the little journey in.
Well, I would also say that like you travel back to this place, the Bitterwood, and you remember like when you were first here, Quill, like it was terrifying. Like you guys
dark,
were like
it was
dark, it was
stormy.
scary.
Yeah,
like
it
you
was
were injured. You were like several of you were
Arvel
nursing
had a broken
injuries.
leg.
And whilst you're like kind of there and you're like using the visions to see stuff, there is probably a group of ragged-looking bandits who are like, "Give us your money, mate." They're like, "Boy, you know,
I mean,
got on you."
Like my wings extend, I fucking glow.
You send these bandits who once would have terrified you. You send them really as they're like blasted by holy light. And they just go
But I mean, like,
running.
as these
The
bandits are
cow
like,
sees him
fleeing,
and immediately
yeah.
just runs.
There are no cows, not anymore.
Dead.
like as the bandits are
everyone.
fleeing from this Quill, I like turn around and there's the vision of the Quill from the very, very beginning of the journey, and he's like hunched over and terrified and hiding behind Sentry. And I mean, I
mean-
I literally in the last battle
literally just
flew
did
behind Sentry and perched on her
Some
shoulder.
things never change.
Yeah.
That's the lesson that we learn is many things change in our lives. Some things stay the same.
And I think I would try to, I mean, spending, obviously, I know this was like a 5-day journey when we did it.
But no,
before,
but
I'm
you've got
flying
magic
across it.
now. You've got fly. You can
Expeditious
teleport. You
retreat,
can
all that stuff, yeah.
do loads of stuff. You got the book, the Wayfinders
Do you know when
going.
you fell into the Dwellenden ruins and you couldn't get out for ages?
I would go, I'd go over the Dwellenden ruins. I'd find that rusty, mangled
Go
robot
to the house
that-
where the woman was. The
Rose Hall. Oh, Rose Hall Manor.
Yeah, yeah.
Rose Hall Manor,
The
where
spooky with the spectre.
book-
There's an artifact
like
in
the
there somewhere. Just
banshee.
quickly rush in.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
get
I
that
remember.
book.
I had a
look at that book.
There was another book I wanted as well.
I wouldn't
wanted
go
one too.
past
Yeah.
Rose Hall. I wouldn't go beyond that. But like I would, I'd go through Dwellenden, and there's that rusty robot that
Yeah,
gave
still
Sentry
there.
a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still there, still in the exact same position when you left it
Is
a year
Find
and
the
a half
Prime
ago.
still etched in the ground?
Was it? I thought it was like a vision that you got.
There's a
It's
bit
etched
of-
But
into
the it had
Oh, it is etched in my book. Yeah.
it is
That's
etched
Find the
because
Prime.
the Guardian had gone mad and basically was etching find the prime, find the prime, find the prime.
Sentry, do you remember? This is the first time I was able to realize I could connect to the Matrix.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that I could see into your Matrix.
You've not tried that since Sentry became the prime, have you?
No, there's too many in there.
God land.
Full house.
I mean, I could try, but I could literally die. before the big fight.
Yeah, not the best time to die.
Anything else, Tom? Or is this-
Sorry, yeah. Then I would happily go to Rose Hall as the first place where I think.
It's like I don't have those notes.
No, I know. I don't. You don't necessarily need the notes. I don't intend to be doing a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, how's the chariot?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's it like? Are we
the only thing we need is the name of the halfling lady.
Rosalina.
Rosalina?
In the
Rosalina.
Brazen Heart Tavern.
Yeah.
You would find Rose Hall to be prosperous, doing very, very well. The inn, not much has changed, but Rosalina is still there. Probably still the same. Like there's, not much has
only 2
changed.
years,
Quite
yeah.
happy, yeah. But like it is prosperous. Like there are people there. There are new buildings. You can see that like there are new businesses that have like maybe been opened, like a new store. Things have been like refurbished. The walls have been sort of like redone and solidified. It's like growing into more of a town. Before it was like a village. Now it's kind of growing into a larger town.
What about Brookstone
Yeah, is the
Manor?
Brookstone? Is he still kicking around?
No, he would have been. He was taken away, right? Like he was arrested. and
After I pointed a
everything
gun
else.
at him.
Yeah, the
You
house.
got real
the
mad.
house is probably still there, but it is like you get the impression that if somebody's living there, they're not taking very good care of it. It's kind of overgrown and everything else.
Okay.
That was the
I'm
first
okay with
time that Ayla respected you when you pointed a gun and got real mad at
Like
that
father,
man.
like son. Yeah, no, I remember that.
So
That was savage.
I don't necessarily expect
sure.
like full role play with Rosalina,
Yeah, no, of
random
course, yeah.
NPC from episode 5, but I would probably spend the evening watching the sunset in the. There was a place where Lucius and Quill went very early on in Rose Hall, where we spoke about Vala and taking care of her.
It was in a watchtower.
In a watchtower, yeah.
A little watchtower on the walls.
And I think I would like to spend an evening there.
Sure.
And watch the sunset there again, reflecting on the journey that we've had all through Aerois. Before episode 26, when it all went to hell.
Yeah.
That
As
was
you're looking out into the sky, you hear some rustling, and 2 elven boots sit down next to you at the watchtower. I thought you'd be here.
Oh, really? Was it obvious?
Oh, yes. I literally saw you fly here.
Oh, right. Okay, not intuition or anything like that.
Well, who knows?
Yeah,
You tell me, you've got the eye.
that's true. I guess it was pretty obvious. I mean, it meant a lot to me. The journeys we've had. I think
where
it's
it
meant a
all
lot to a lot of people.
I guess we could all say the airship is where it started, but I think it's where we really came together in this town.
Yeah. I mean, still unfortunate circumstances. I mean, we still talk about Brookstone to this day. The
good
first
lesson.
betrayal. Yeah.
It lost you your eye,
Yeah, that was the Goliath. Yeah.
but you gained a good one.
Yeah. That took dying though. Remember when?
Yeah, and yes, but that's Kaylee's Rest. That's not here.
True. That's why I don't intend
That's
to go
beyond
much
Kaylee's
yeah,
Rest.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
that was where was that?
Technically, Quill didn't die at Kaylee's Rest.
Yeah, that was Century.
No,
Quill died.
no,
at
yeah, that was,
the tower,
You were at Mirskir,
Miska, yeah. The
the spire.
trying to get
Sparrow.
Century back.
Night eyes.
It was the first Hadar.
It was.
It was in the ruins of Palador Temple,
Yes.
and you
We
had
had-
It's just dying over there, looking at her notes.
Saying
Yeah. The
nothing.
red-eyed, the
Night
one-eyed,
eye.
night-eye.
She took off her silvery mask, and there was just nothing but a void there.
Man, we had no
Red
idea
dot.
then, did we?
No, and I put a wall of ice up, and you couldn't get past, and you died.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yep,
Oh, that
I
was.
remember that.
Sentry was already.
No, it was me. I was trying to beat through the
It
wall.
was Lucius.
I was
It was
trying
the
to.
enemy created that wall.
Oh, and we couldn't get to it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wall of Force.
I didn't
Yes,
have the power
that's
to
what it
make
was.
that.
No, you weren't even close to that at that point.
Look at us now, hey?
I know.
Hey,
Hey,
look at us.
look at us. Could you imagine?
Not me.
Not me.
All right. Anything else, Quill?
We kiss. No, I just,
Only if Trot allows it. Play
no, I just. It was just
Yeah, I love
happened
it.
to get this folder out of nowhere, and it just had all this stuff. It even has Quill's
OG
level
sheet.
2 character sheet. The
You
very
say
first
out
one
of
I.
nowhere, like you didn't just leave it in
Well,
the
it was just very convenient that
forgotten
it just
about it.
showed up today.
Yeah.
To Tom,
I
that
found
had
it
stopped
and
existing.
that didn't
until-
exist.
I didn't know about it. I
Yeah.
just genuinely didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about
No, I
it.
love it. It's great.
I think
Um,
we
Nice
would
little touch.
probably just spend the evening like reminiscing, laughing about
Sure.
spell clash and
The
cool
painted
stuff like
prints, yeah.
that. I think Lucius would put an arm around Quill and be like, "Thank you for the memories.
You
Thank
too.
you for being my best friend."
I wanted to say it first. Okay. Fine.
Little competitive Quill.
You know I am still a Sentry Squire though, right?
I know. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. Nova.
Hi.
At some point,
Oh no.
I'll let you decide when,
Okay.
a figure would come and find you.
Okay.
When do you think that might be?
Oh,
I'd probably be mucking around in the Stormchasers engine room,
Okay.
just like trying
Getting
to get.
everything ready and
Well, not even that. Just trying to feel normal. Like I feel like since Nova's been revived, she hasn't had a moment because we've just fought these gods, and Callus, Siaska, everyone's doing cool stuff, and I'm just stood there like, I've lost Tiangong, and I'm barely holding it together, and I'm just trying to touch the engine and be like, fixing this will make things okay, because I know how to fix this.
yeah, it's that classic thing of like throwing yourself into work that you know and feel comfortable with and like
Try
just
not to think about that thing that's fizzing at the back of
something
your
that's
brain.
going to keep you occupied. Something that keeps your mind and your hands occupied, prevents you thinking about things. It's maybe late at night. And it's strange because everyone on Aerois is so used to the cradle being there, especially at night. This kind of prismatic layer that kind of just envelops the planet. Now it's strange seeing the stars so unobstructed. As you're working on the engine, you feel something. Just that twinge, that pull, that connection. When you turn around, stood there, looking the same they did when you fought Callus, and your echo of Tiangong merged with Callus's Tiangong, and they created this kind of humanoid shape with a cape almost, but you're like a shorter version of your hair, slightly more features that resemble your own, but still different. Not your Tiangong, not Callus's Tiangong. Someone new. And they just stand there silently, looking at you.
I know you're gonna say you can't, but I miss you.
We cannot what?
We can't join again.
It is not impossible.
I doubt you'd want to, though.
Why?
Because you are two parts of a whole now. You are the Tiangong that first joined with me and carried me all this way. And you're not. You're his Tiangong who had those experiences.
You are intelligent, clever. You think much about the world, but you are wrong. We are not the Tiangong that traveled with you and the Stormchaser crew. We did not travel to Cali's Rest. We did not travel to Mirskir. We are also not Callus's weapon. We are not the one who waged war upon Aerois. We are not the one who has traveled the stars to fight Hadar. We are both, and we are neither. We are new. we have not been before. Until we merged, we were two. Now we are one.
I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted. It was in the heat of the moment.
Wanted what?
This. To be born anew.
Do you know why we once chose you? Why we once chose Callus?
For my one, I always figured I was just the first person to find you.
You knew that the Remnant was aware of my location, our location. You fought them to find us. You were not the first, nor was Callus. Eterna are not helpless. We choose whom we bond with. I ask, why did we choose Nova Vija?
Because I only ever wanted what was right for you.
You did. That is not why we chose. Among the Eterna, we were called the Curious. We sought new life, new experiences, to understand, to learn. We traveled with you because we sensed the same, as we sensed in Callus too. A desire to understand, a desire to learn, to experience, to feel. In joining these two Tiangongs, you have shown us something new. We have experienced something that no Eterna has ever experienced before. We do not regret your choice. We embrace it. Does that curiosity still live in you, Nova Vija?
Yes.
You touch. There's a physical sense. Your hand almost feels like it wants to pass through, but it doesn't. Instead, light begins to touch the points where your hand and theirs meet, and it glows bright. As the hands merge, you feel them overlap your body, and a familiar sensation, a new sensation, but familiar, as a new Tiangong bonds with you. We are one.
Thank you.
Thank you for this new experience and for many more to come.
I promise you that.
As we would expect, the Eterna stand ready. We know the threat that looms at the edge of the universe. We have always known it. We fought alongside Callus because we felt he was the last hope for all life. We see now that he is lost, as you once were, as we have been. Perhaps now, united, a triumvirate, Nova, Callus, Tiangong. Perhaps now, a way forward exists.
I won't lie. Moments ago, I didn't truly believe we could do it. But now I know we can.
It is the nature of a scholar to change their mind when new facts and information are presented. New doors open to the unknown. There are no certainties in this universe, Nova Vija. Except we will fight together once more. And with that, you and Tiangong are once more. Well, you and this Tiangong. A new Tiangong.
Yes.
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
What the hell?
I think that was gonna
Oh my
Good
god.
shit.
For the reference, I said to Mark, I don't think they would join, but I would ask
was
them
so
to
good.
join the Astoria. Like, I was gonna ask, like, if they would help with the Astoria, but I didn't think you'd be like, they'd join.
It makes sense. Everything that they
I feel like
said.
they said what they said.
Hell yeah.
With that,
That's awesome.
because I think we all need it.
Take a
It'll be the end of part 1, and we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Oh,
We'll see you in part 2.
see ya.
Bye. Oh, it's a good one today. I want to say thank you to Rhiannon for helping me get all of the tears out. Now I feel like there aren't any left, so I'm good. So I appreciate it.
Don't drink a thing.
Just keep it as light as I can be.
By the end of the episode, you're gonna be.
He's just a raisin.
Hey, yeah, thank you guys so much. We're going to be taking a quick 5-minute break
Yes,
here.
yeah.
A couple of quick things. Don't forget to go check out freshstore.co. Pick up your High Rollers merch. We got the dice. We got the core collection. Woodbrint t-shirt. It's amazing. You got the glittery blessing dice. Go and get those. It's a nice way for you to get something and support us at the same time. Also, new table, baby.
Yeah, baby.
We got the new table.
Look at this.
We commissioned a custom-built table from Geek & Son that we bought with your wonderful donations and support. It's finally here, and we're very happy with it.
We are.
I'm so happy
very
right
good.
now.
Yep. So we're going to take a quick break,
Oh, you've
and
stained
then we're going to
your
be back.
side with tears.
I ruined it already, sorry.
That's going to happen. Right, we'll be back in 5. See you in a minute.
See you in a bit.
Welcome back. Thank you for the fan art. We got the fan art video. Again, if you have art, if you want to make fan art, please let us know about it. Send it to us, tweet it, put it in the Discord, email it to us, do whatever.
Yeah.
It heals my soul.
Gives me life.
Yeah, it'd be great to have another nice big one just before we kind of wrap everything up, which isn't probably that far away just yet. Probably still a little bit of time, but not that far away. So
Even though the fan art video states the email, the Discord might
Discord's
be
where it's
better.
at.
yeah,
Might be better.
we're very because it's easy to track as well. And
Also, you'll then get hyped up by a hell of a lot of other people who love your art.
Discord's just a great place anyway.
a lovely community Discord.
Lovely
High Rollers,
place.
High Rollers Discord. You can find a link for it in the chat and things like that. Right, with that, we're going to jump back in. We'll see you in a second.
Yeah, boy.
Welcome back to part 2 of High Rollers Aerois. You join us as the champions, and the party are conducting various pieces of personal business on around Aerois entirely, not just in Horizon, but all across Aerois, as now they prepare for the final journey and battle against the forces of Hadar at the edges of astral space. Spending this time to reunite with old friends, to converse with old enemies, to reminisce about adventures past, and to reconnect to those who were thought lost. We jump back in, wrapping up any further business. I know that I think we'll probably finish, we'll kind of wrap up the session with a big meal, thanks to Nova's family and inviting various NPCs that people want to speak to. And I know that other people have got a few more things that they want to do as well. But time for any other bits and pieces that people over here might want to do.
You got any plans?
I think, yeah, but I don't know if you wanted to go first or
Well,
second.
mine involves bringing you with me. I'm going to need your help for this. Specifically
First
your
or
help.
second.
Oh, needs a strong boy.
I think after we just had a very,
Do it now.
Something
Yeah.
silly, please.
Go for it.
I think
Silly? It's not silly.
Oh, okay.
No, this is
Maybe.
Is it joyful? I
This is-
can't cry anymore.
this is probably one of the most important things
All right.
we could ever do.
Is it treasure?
It's not quite
Continue,
treasure.
continue.
I think aboard the Stormchaser, I think we'd be meeting with the crew and things like that, talking to them, and I'd see Howard.
Hello, Mr. Quill. Hello.
Hey, Howard.
How can I help you? Just trying to get everything ready, supplies ready for our big trip.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. You've been doing incredible work.
Thank you very much,
recently, and
Mr. Thank you very much, Mr.
I know you
Quill.
had to take some leave not that long ago because of stress, but
I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better.
I'm so glad.
Lano and I, we've been talking mental health, very important. I've been doing my training and my everything. It's going well.
I've been trying to take my role more seriously. I know I've been quite lax with lists and provisions and things like that. I've made sure I've got you apples. I've got you all these things that you require to make the apple crumble.
It's going to be so tricky because apparently we're not sure how long this journey's going to take. It might take a very long time, and I'm just worried. How are we going to get new apples out in astral space? I just don't. How are we going to do it?
Well, I think we need to preserve them, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there's no way. There's no way we can do it, Mr. Quill.
Howard, just give me a couple of hours. Ayla,
Yeah,
I'm going to need your help.
Yeah.
Back up.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm on it.
I'm going to go
Thank you,
find.
Mr. Quill.
I'm going to go find Zim Zam Zimbalore.
All right. Well, how are you going to go about this, Quill? Master of Magic, 20th level player character. How are you going to do it?
Well, I'm going to Gusthaven.
Okay.
Not Gusthaven.
Horizon.
Horizon was where I spoke to him for the first time, and I'm going to use locate creature on my book.
Okay. Yeah.
If he's anywhere within like 5 miles or whatever.
I think it's not that far, but yeah. How many times can you use locate creature on the book?
Locate creature. It's a charge in the Wayfinder's Guide, and it would be recharged. because it's been a long time since I've used the Wayfinder's Guide, so it is available to me.
Okay.
Is he within 1,000 feet of me?
Well, you would probably have to spend some time and maybe multiple charges because Horizon's a big city. 1,000 feet's not a big place, but you go back
This guy's
to
mine.
you go back to the places where you first encountered this strange hermit wizard.
I find the flyer that I put on the wall still there with the little tabs taken out
They're
of
all
it.
gone. But you begin the search. I would like Keelakad Kalar, with the aid of magic to give you advantage, to roll a perception.
This is the primed dice. There's never been a more important roll than to use this one. Perception.
With advantage.
Advantage.
Doesn't matter. What's 15 plus 18?
Lots.
33.
33! Where are you, Zimzam?
So, Quill, you spend a few hours using the spell of locate creature and also your burgeoning perception. You find, tucked away in a seedy little tavern, well, not seedy, Horizon's not a seedy place, but this is kind of definitely a tavern in the sort of more places of ill repute. And you, the spell is going off, leading you in this direction, but you spot through a crack of the door, sat in like a booth, talking to what appear to be like some maybe sort of young adventurers. They are looking, fresh-eyed, like an elven girl with a bow and a green cape and blonde hair. And there's a young man with like a kind of half beard and like dark hair and sword and armor and shield. And they're talking to a man dressed as the most stereotypical wizard you can imagine. Blue robes, dirty and filthy, but like blue with stars and moons, and a big Merlin the Wizard, kind of hat.
I remember
talking
this
to
man.
him. And it's immediate. You're like, that's him. That's the man.
Ayla, put your hood up. You got a hood, right? Oh, okay. It's okay, he hasn't met you. I've got mine.
Sorry, I actually didn't think that this guy existed.
I told you.
Yeah, you told me that Zemza looked like a wizard.
I described him.
Yeah, and it sounded ridiculous.
It sounded ridiculous, and yet, I
genuinely am shocked.
I'm going to put my hood up.
Okay.
Going to mask my...
You're gonna. Okay.
I'm not going to mask
the giant
myself
bird
in any way.
He's gonna put a hood up.
But... I'm going to slowly walk up to the table.
Okay.
And...
Make a stealth check for me.
I'm not like...
I'm not stealthing in any way.
Is a stealth thing to not have him recognise me?
Yeah, that's exactly what. We use stealth for that as well, or deception. I'd let you choose.
With advantage?
No,
1. Well, I mean, I've got...
it doesn't matter. Well, it might matter. I rolled a 2.
I mean, so stealth is +3.
Okay.
My deception is +1. I'll go with stealth.
So for a total of 4 with again Zimzam's perception, which is I rolled a 2 minus 1.
What? He has a minus.
Of course he does. Zimzam is useless.
He doesn't need to see anything.
He's absent-minded. He forgets everything. He's got incredibly low wisdom. You walk up, and it's everyone else is like turning around as like your wings are like knocking over beers.
Hero of Aerois.
People are like, oh my god, it's Keelakad Kalar, champion of Hesper. People are talking, but this wizard character, this elderly. I mean, Ayla, this man looks like a hermit, like a hobo, but he's just dressed in this shabby, dirty, stained wizard's robe. He does have like a bag, like a kind of weird-looking satchel with like a book in it. It's like stained, and he's got like weird like trinkets hanging off it and things like that. And there's just not a staff. It looks literally like a broom with all the bristles taken out of it is leaning up against the thing like a staff. And you approach and you overhear.
I'm sorry, you gave our money to that?
You approach as you hear the young elven woman being like, so you're saying that in this dungeon we can find this magical treasure?
Yes, my dear. A very powerful magic item exists, and if you help me find it, you can have all the other treasures you can find. I'm a wizard, and only I know the secret code to enter the mines of Megarion.
When I get to the table, I'll gesture to the people that he's talking to. Leave this place.
I'm not even going to roll. They look up, and the man's like, the champion of Hesper. Very well. They kind of get up, and this was just like, where are you going? No, come back. I need champions. And then he looks. He's like, what do you think you're bloody playing at? You've ruined it. You've ruined my... And he's sort of...
Ayla, take a seat.
I know you.
Ayla's on one side of him, I'm on the other. Okay. He's in the middle of the stall now, he can't leave.
Oh, so you're like... No, because he's like a pub bullet. He's sat on one side.
Oh, I thought it was like...
How are you going to get past
I thought for some reason it was like one of those U-shaped sofa things.
Yeah.
You know what? Sure, we'll say it's like a U shape. They were sat on one side, he's in the middle, but you can sit on either side of him.
We're now sat on either side of him. There's no getting away this time,
Okay.
Zim Zam.
What do you mean? I'm not Zim Zam. I'm Zorzon Zombador.
Ayla's just the whole time just looking at Quill like, you're fucking moron.
Do you remember me?
I
remember this face.
I remember you. Oh, that little weedy bird man who wanted, what was it you wanted? You wanted something from the mighty Zorzon. What was it?
Today you pay up, Zim Zam Zordalord.
I actually can't remember what you wanted.
I wanted a magic... Okay, I wanted a magic fridge.
Fridge.
Now, admittedly, I did invent the term fridge. Something to preserve food. You promised me. I gave
The
you...
box!
The box of preservation. You
The
promised
box
me...
of evocation, necromancy, transmutation.
That's the magic you were going to use. Okay, now see, I was... Zebaleb.
Yes, I remember.
Just one of your many names.
And he places a filthy hand, and the nails are long and like there's dirt.
It's like, I remember. I sought you over mountains, fields, and deserts. Long did I journey to find you.
Insight check.
Yeah.
20.
21.
I sought you for weeks, and I could not find you, despite my...
You did?
You must be a powerful champion of magic to elude my magic senses.
But if you were traveling for that long, why not just message me? Why not send a message to me? I could have found
Oh,
you.
it is simple, my boy. Long ago, the great witch,
Tagagaron?
she cursed.
Sorry, are you speaking different languages here? Because I haven't got a clue what you're saying to each
We
other.
are speaking wizard language, young lady. Wizard speech.
Keep up.
Now, the great witch, Zarbarin,
yes.
she cursed
Wait.
me. She cursed me with an ancient mystical curse that never would I hear a magic message ever again, and I have never been able to receive
What a very
or
complicated
send
and
them.
specific
I
curse.
know, she is a crafty rival of mine. Powerful and wicked, very sexy.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Zeb.
Yes.
Zeb.
I'm afraid I have even more dire news.
No, the fridge? The box of whatever it's called?
It was stolen.
By who?
By the Thieves Guild of Angrimid! Those devilish, red-masked bastards! They stole it from me.
Zelzid, you speak to a messenger of the Arakokran Guild. I know maps, I know locations. There is no... What is it you said? Zelzagrid?
Who stole it?
Agramar?
Agrabled!
There is no Agrabled on Aerois.
All right. I will come clean with you.
I want the truth.
One wizard to
The
another.
whole truth. What happened to the box?
It is difficult and long to explain.
Is there no quick version?
There is no quick version.
Okay.
Could your friend fetch a drink?
Nope.
She stays here. She stays.
Right. Very good.
Not that
Yep. Very good. Right. Yep. So, this tale begins 100 years ago. When I was a student,
Yes.
I learned from the great sorcerer Begarius. And Begarius once taught me a fable, another story that begins 1,000 years ago.
Okay, so inside this story is yet another story that
Yes,
goes back
and it
even
all
further.
relates
Right.
to your magic fridge box. And you see that as a long time ago, what's your passive perception?
Everything.
It's 33.
Is your passive actually 33? As he's telling this story, he is like on the table, and like Ayla doesn't see this. He actually rolled very well, but not enough. He is subtly sketching out a spell. Like he is casting a spell subtly while he's
I'm gonna
telling this
cast
story.
Message to Ayla. Grab his hand.
My hand! Oh!
Sorry! You were distracting me. I was trying to listen to what you were saying, but your hand was just all over the place.
I never made the fridge!
You never made the fridge.
I never.
Bastard.
There's no such magic in this world.
No such magic. There is. There has to be a way. Zib, zib, dib. There has to be.
There is one. Travel to the highest peaks
one
of
chance.
the great mountains of El Seraph, and there is an ice elemental. The soul of that ice elemental, once installed by an enchanter of some skill, of which I am not, would probably be able to preserve some food.
Sorry, are you just saying that you're not skilled enough?
I'm not a skilled enchanter.
Can you repeat that?
I'm not a skilled enchanter.
Louder for the
Louder?
entire tavern to hear.
I'm not a skilled enchanter.
Thank you.
I'm a
Thank
fraud.
you.
I'm a charlatan. A con man.
What of the gold we gave you?
Spent it
On?
having sexy times. Booze. I also bought myself 4 cakes and I ate them whole.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm a man of simple pleasures. A wizard.
A wizard should know better.
Well, this one bloody doesn't. All right. Now, what are you going to do?
Your days of defrauding people are over, Zemzob.
You're not going to hand me into the authorities, are you?
And what if I do?
I wouldn't last very long in prison. I'm too beautiful. Please. My blood, my lord and master.
I don't.
Let the student leave. He like bows his head and places it on the table.
What do you think, Ayla? He took gold from us?
I meant what I said about the elemental. I actually think that might work.
That's that's actually, yeah.
Does that check out?
It's convincing.
I mean, if it doesn't, we can just find him again. It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
He looks nervous.
And I will find you again.
All right. Can I leave?
Fine.
He like gets up and like walks out to the door of the tavern. He opens his bag to a new world. And jumps into the book and
Stop that man! No!
falls to the ground.
He's gonna pop up in campaign 3.
Where's that book?
The book's there.
Give me the book.
Yeah, you pick up the book, and it's this old. It looks like an old wizard spell book, but on the face of it is like a brass impression of Zimzam's face. And the book is called The Tales of Zimzam Zimbalor.
I'm going to hold the book, fall to my knees. Zimzam! I will find you!
In this world, or the next.
However, you and Ayla can go on a lovely adventure and find a nice elemental, get its soul, and Azaria Perel will make you a magic box that preserves food.
You gave gold to a man
I was
dressed like the cheapest, dirtiest, most disgusting wizard I think I've ever seen.
Look, everyone had a spa day. It was a really nice time for everyone involved. I didn't
So
get
you
to go.
just lost your brain?
It was stressful.
You're an intelligent intelligent bird, for God's sake!
We just got back from getting the Star of Siaska. It was.
That's probably the worst decision you've ever made.
I think I might be stupid. Do you want to go beat up an ice elemental?
I mean, yeah.
And when we get back and tell everyone about this, can you please convince them that he's real? Or at least was. He might be in another world now, but...
I'm still not convinced he was, because that was too absurd to actually have happened. I don't know. Are we...
This is real.
Are you sure?
This is real life.
I pinch him.
he's got, well, you pinch Quill, he's holding this book, and the little brass edifice of Zim Zam goes. It winks. For the podcast listeners, I winked. Right, with that.
Man. I hate that man with all I am.
Oh, it's incredible.
Genuinely, I don't think you could have found a worse wizard if you tried.
I know.
I know.
Things I could probably do it myself now. But
I
I was at my wit's end. Can we go hunt this ice elemental?
Yeah, you do. It's just you. Yeah, I mean, you go. It's at the highest peak of Al Saraf. You find this like powerful the rhyme lord. Ayla goes up, whack, 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 dead. All ye who enter my domain. I am an ancient terror of the mountain. Long have I ruled these. Crack, crack. It's like when you go in an MMO and you've completed the latest expansion and you go back to like 3 expansions ago and it's like, I'm the mighty lord of Naldrax. It's like just 1, 2, shot. 3 dead.
Yeah.
In the background, there's a little baby elemental. Daddy.
I'm gonna harvest that thing's heart.
And then with that, Azaria will be able to. Azaria's just like a very simple enchantment. Yes. And she like literally gets like a box and just literally places it and does a few things, and within like 5 minutes it's done.
Out of curiosity, Azaria, have you met a wizard called Zim Zam?
Looks like this.
I find that name utterly ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he looks foul.
Would you have given that man a big old pile of gold?
No.
Yeah, you know what's even more absurd? At no point did I actually consider coming to you first.
Very strange.
I know.
I don't know why many people say I'm delightful. As she caresses a half decomposing zombie corpse that she's like,
She stole my
have you met Nigel? It's my latest.
Oh, I guess no, we haven't met.
No, just
We've met a
out.
few others. Yeah. He looks happy. Well,
when you leave, don't forget. As you leave, you get the skull. Ah!
oh yeah, every single time. Okay.
Bye.
Howard.
Oh, we're back. Oh yes, Mr. Quill. I know Mr. Quill.
Can I ask Azaria if she can put one of those skulls that screams at you just inside Quill's door? So that when
She'll give you a skull to a face.
no. But the last time I did it,
box.
no.
If we Howard opens it.
He's had enough. He's had enough.
Boy, run!
No, just every time Quill walks into his own room, just
Yeah, well, like Azaria, like for the Stormchaser, Azaria will give you a skull. Just mount this on the inside, my dear. Gives you one that you can affix.
It's on the inside of Quill's door.
Yeah.
But just so that he can't see it until he's fully in, and
Yeah.
it will scream at him every time.
Perfect.
You're welcome. There's also a tree just in your room, by the way. I put that there a while ago.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Just a pile of soil.
I cast True Sight. Can I see the ethereal connections from this tree to all others?
On the Stormchaser. Yeah. There's a magical tether.
After he had a huge rant about it, I held up a sign to Mark and said I put a tree in Quill's room. Just a little one.
About that, yeah.
Just a little
Suddenly,
one.
I've unlocked all theories of magic as I fully understand travel via fucking plant.
With that, I'll
tree
throw
of
over
a
to the other side of the table.
Wow,
If there is anything anyone else would like to do.
that really went some places.
Yeah,
I
wants to
think it
follow
had
that.
to.
No, follow that. That is unfollowable. fine.
Sexy time.
You go.
And cakes, I ate them all.
Speak with my sister to bring the tone down a bit.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Let's do that.
Okay. So you travel to Gusthaven?
Yep.
Sure.
I walk past the kitchen of the Stormchaser while he's delivering the...
Oh yeah, he did deliver
Oh, this is brilliant, Mr. Quill. I love it so much. I'm going to put so many crumbles and freeze them and keep them fresh.
Crying. I'm so sorry it took so long.
And then you
It's all right, Mr. Quill. It's all right.
and you go to rest in your room and you get screamed at. And find a lot of soil on the floor.
And a bonfire. It's magical. It's not protecting any light.
It's not
though.
going to burn it.
It's no
Put
light.
that in the engine room. Nova. Bonfire.
No light though. It's so
see
dark.
it.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, I go and find
Sure.
Idea, Moonstar.
I'm trying to think.
I might go to the Sky Prince
Yeah.
and see if he... Oh, see him as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely no trouble in finding your way to the palace.
I know where that is.
Yeah. And everyone there knows who you are. There's no trouble. The guards let you in, lead you into an audience chamber. Aradan is likely attending to just everyday matters, like kind of speaking with a few advisors, making plans for the city and things like that. You also notice that the priestess from the Temple of Siaska is here, and seems to have they are in a conversation talking about the message that Siaska sent. And the priestess is just like, she was beautiful, my prince. It was amazing. I just don't know what we're going to tell the people. I mean, this battle against this Hadar. People have seen a lot of war, and the attacks that happened not too long ago. I just think that it is a dangerous time for us to be talking about another battle. I mean, this Valkyrian matter is only just seemingly resolved now, and these pirates that were attacking us seem to have vanished. I just and Aradan is like, I think they should still know, priestess. This is a message from our creator. We have to let them know. We have to spread the word. And then he kind of sees you and he's like, forgive me. You know my thoughts on this. Come and speak to me again, but I think it is best we let them know. She's like, very well, my prince. And she sort of bows. And Aradan will look over and be like, Lucius, it's wonderful to see you again. I'm assuming that we have you and your friends to thank for recent developments?
I suppose you could say that, yes. We've been very, very busy.
Yes, from the sounds of it. I do speak with Danica from time to time, fighting these titans. I hear that Starbane fought you in a duel.
Yes, that bloody fool. That 1,000-year-old
To think
tyrant.
To think that we would be here calling him a bloody fool after our years of fear and history teaching us of the horrors that were inflicted on us.
It makes me feel better
Good.
to make light of the situation. Either way,
And to know that he can be bested. That it was, that he is just a man. How can I help you? What brings you to Gusthaven? What brings you home?
oh, well, unfortunately we're not here to stay. I'm sure you got the message,
Yes,
as you were
we did,
just
yes.
discussing.
Yes.
Our final journey is upon us. Hopefully and I mean that in the way that I would like to stop doing this after a certain amount of time. And I think we've reached our career peak, so to speak.
I'm glad to hear that. I worried that you may have meant it in another way. I hope that you return home and will have the peaceful life you deserve after all
see.
of this.
We'll see. The peaceful life for everybody.
Yes. Well, you think of others a lot, Lucius. You are part of everyone too. Me wishing you a peaceful life does not discount me wishing everyone else one.
Wise as always, Sky Prince.
I try to just care about the things I care about.
As is both our duties.
Duty is a part of it. How can I help you? What brings you home?
Well, first of all, we're having a little dinner.
Like we had before.
Yes.
Hopefully, perhaps less rude gestures at this one, perhaps?
Oh. And Lucius blushes.
He just laughs. He's just like, I'm joking. It was a joke. Please.
I didn't actually technically say that you were coming to Nova, but I'm sure Nova's mum always prepares far too much food.
They were very kindly people, and they've been wonderful here in Gusthaven. Her cooking is quite popular. I've heard a lot of people speaking of it.
Yes. Yes, you'd be more than welcome.
Thank you. I would love to attend. I would love to.
It would be nice for a final gathering of the people we care about the most.
Of course.
Speaking of which...
Yeah.
Have you seen my sister?
An interesting topic. I have. She has petitioned. Her record of death has now been expunged. She wishes to resume the name Aerois Elanasto. It seems that the pirates, they're all gone.
The Wind Barons?
Wind Barons, they are all gone. Aerois took care of many of them. Others fled when Valkyrian seemingly pulled their forces away. The Empire sort of retreated. Without their support, these pirates really couldn't stand up to any strong military force. So they fled. A large number of them vanished just before then, though. Aerois and some of the others that we had them investigating them spoke of another one ordering them to join them, to take them to gain power somewhere. I think the name Zarkira was mentioned.
Right.
But since then, unfortunately, I have very little information about that, but since then, now that the Wind Barons are no longer a threat, I think that your sister has been a bit bored. She doesn't really... Her quest for vengeance is sort of sputtered out. She doesn't know what to do with herself, so yes, she's asked to expunge the record of her death, to reclaim the title, and to... she's been trying to buy back your family's land from those who bought it.
Interesting. Well...
As I understand it, the families who purchased the land keep rebuffing her, saying that they have an agreement with you about some other property that may be involved. Maybe good for you to speak with her.
It's all very secret.
I believe she's staying with them at the moment. They've
Right.
offered to let her stay with them for the time being. It's all very amicable. It's not aggressive or anything. At their estate.
Not in the secret basement.
Secret basement?
Never mind, I didn't say a word.
Clearly, no. At their estate, just not too far from your own family's home.
Right.
I can take you there if you wish.
Please.
It will be good to get out of the palace.
By the way, we may not get a chance at the dinner, but I want to thank you.
Why? Well, I feel like I've done very little.
Ever since I returned to Gusthaven and tried to find out about my family and follow the Wind Barons, you've been nothing but a great ally and a great friend.
Of course. You are... Well, I mean, your family was always kind to me and to mine, but also you're I don't know, you're a good person. Of course I would help you. Why I don't
You
see
went
I would
above and beyond your station. Your station lies with the populist of Gusthaven, not just me.
No.
And you took a lot of your time to help us on our journey to get to where we are now.
I guess I can't say that I didn't. It's strange. From the moment you walked in, I knew that there was something different. I don't know if it was a divine calling or a sense of fate or just a hunch, but I felt that I had to help you, that it was important that I help you, that you deserved my help. And really, it wasn't that hard to give. You were kind, you were considerate, you did much for the people of Gusthaven. When there was danger, you and your allies did not hesitate to come to their aid. Not for a moment. So, of course, you're welcome, but I feel that the thanks are unnecessary. You've done and given so much for Aerois, for Gusthaven. What I've done feels very little in comparison.
Well, not to me.
Thank Thank you, Lucius.
And not to what we consider the champions, I guess.
Champions of Aerois. I think that is a very apt title. And you're welcome. He kind of like looks at you and sort of isn't like kind of does that thing of like isn't sure the net like kind of goes to offer a hand, but like maybe like does that like is this a hug? Like I don't know. Like
I'll give him a big hug.
yeah, he kind of like oh, and then he kind of leans into it and yeah, presses tightly against you. You know, his hands on your back, and just sort of like still sort of keeping that embrace, but like takes a step back and looks into your eyes, and just says like, the High Elven people in Gusthaven are proud to count you among us, Lucius, Virian, Elowin, Elenaster. You do us a great service.
I think I'd cut him off.
Yeah.
And go in for a big kiss.
Oh. Okay.
It's happening!
Natural 20. It is.
Fucking hell, tongues.
There is shock and surprise, but it does not pull away. Aradan does not pull away. Aradan leans into it, and when there is that break in a moment, you see that he is like completely flustered and like surprised.
I'm sorry, it's out of place, Sky Prince.
He coughed. He like looks. He's like, no, Lucius. I didn't realize. I thought that you weren't. And he's like, I'm very happy. I just didn't think that you were interested. I didn't realize.
I didn't either. I'm trying to discover myself as much as I discover others.
That is a journey I understand quite well. It has taken me a long time to find who I am, and I did not always have the most understanding of family, but I found myself. And if I can help you in that journey, that would be very nice. And if you have questions, or if this is too much, if this was something that you come to later think on and regret, I won't be offended or upset. I understand that sometimes in the moment it catches us all unawares, but if you want to talk about it, anytime, of course.
I'll hold you to that.
Please.
First, I have to go kill Hadar.
That's certainly a that's certainly a goodbye message. No,
but I need a reason to come back.
Well, you're not going tomorrow, right?
We've got the dinner.
And if you have any time before then, spend some time with me. Come back where we can sit and talk and just do whatever you want.
That would be lovely, thank you.
You too. He just sort of like squeezes your hand a little bit, and then
he takes off his silk glove.
Oh, you take it off, and he like takes your hand gently.
He rarely takes his gloves off.
He maybe will like actually like just kiss the top of your hand, and then sort of nod and say, I think I should get back to being a prince for a bit.
Oh yes, of
and
course.
you need to go find Adair. Let me, and he'll sort of he'll say, I'll walk with you to the palace exit, and then I can sort of point you in the right direction. I mean, you know where you're going anyway, but I'd like to walk with you at least a little way. And yeah, he'll walk with you. Yeah, and isn't afraid to like, if you were receptive to it, he would hold your hand. Like, there's no like keeping a secret
Lucius
in the palace.
is clearly like, this is new.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Is nerve-wracking, but
yeah, but it's up to you. Like he is very. He's like, he'll have that hand like lingering, like if you want to take it, but if you don't, he just like keeps it and relaxes it.
I think he's probably waiting for like cues from the Sky Prince rather than
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah,
uncharted territory.
Yeah, in that case, like, he would probably just like walk next to you, brush his hand against yours as a if you want to, like, you can take my hand kind of thing. But there's no hiding it amongst the staff or anything like that. Nobody's like shocked or surprised, if they see it. There were probably people that saw you kiss him and like, nothing,
Paparazzi.
Yeah, no paparazzi, but like probably palace staff.
Outside the window, Quill's looking in.
We just went to Rose Hall together!
I wish that were me. I wish I were a high elf.
He's laughing and she's just like... We all know that it's Quill and Max and that's it. That's,
Yeah, you
Quacks.
gotta.
yeah. You got to fight Sentry for Max anyway.
Good luck.
Yeah, and it's not hard to track down a dare. You take
Fuck,
God, I
straight
can't
to the next one.
I can't remember the name of the other family that bought the property from.
Excuse me
'Cause
one
it's
moment.
like, yeah, it's so far in my notes, and I don't have it very well organized.
There were
Unlike
like
him,
multiple guilds. that
there were the three
Somewhere way out
families that like minor families that had like.
Volcanoes.
It's fine. We'll come back to it. And if you find it, let me know. But Aerois is basically staying with them. Still not publicly like announced that she is not dead. But it's very much when you find her, the Moonstar. She's not wearing her Moonstar disguise. You maybe see the mask on the table desk placed down, but like the leather armor, the weapons, none of that's there. Instead, she's wearing a simple but very refined, tight like leggings, boots, like a blouse doublet with a vest. Not like masculine clothing, like feminine cut, but more of a sort of like not a dress, like kind of pants and vest and shirt.
Adela Virinor.
Virinor, that's it, the Virinor family. So it's their mansion, she's staying with them, and when you knock and you know say, I'm here, who you are, they recognize you and say, oh yes, of course, Master Eleanor, come in. She's upstairs, and they'll take you upstairs. And she's got a lavish bedroom, like maybe with an ensuite and like a little sitting area combined to it. And when you walk in, she'll just kind of stand up in her very straight, rigid kind of Aerois way. Brother, I wasn't expecting to see you here. The last I heard you were fighting gods and evil emperors from
Oh,
beyond the
yes,
stars.
you know the usual things.
The usual, yes, as is to be expected of you these days.
Indeed.
Quite the graduation from crying in the corner with your paints.
Can we not?
I mean, I never had a problem with it. It's just that's where you began. Now look at you. I'm very proud.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Dea, no longer Moonstar.
They're all gone. I either killed them, arrested them, they fled, or they vanished. I tried to track more of them down, and there just weren't any. And with the Valkyrians pulling out of Aerois, the Sky Prince has got control of Gusthaven again. There just wasn't a need for Moonstar anymore. I feel like Gusthaven needs a Dea Elenasto more. Tinkerer, magician, diplomat, I don't know, something.
What do you want for yourself?
I don't know. For the last year, it was just vengeance. Vengeance against those that killed mother and father. The desire to feel useful, to feel like I had power. Now, I just don't know. I like to think. I like to create. I just don't know what to do with it.
Me neither.
I don't want to do Ethereum. I don't want to do business like Father did. It's not me. But I'm not an artist like you. I just don't know where I fit into this world. I don't know if you have a gift. You have not just magic, but artistry, and you have something to share. I don't feel like I have that. I was good at making weapons. I don't want to do that anymore.
It's funny, isn't it? You used to be the one to tell me all this.
I know.
I used to be the one to look up to you. You were the favorite. You were the wise one.
It's maybe how you saw me, but it's not how I was. Father wanted me to follow in his footsteps. He taught me, trained me. I was responsible, yes, but I wasn't wise. I didn't have all the answers, Lucius. I never did. But you were so, not lost, but caught away in this world of color that you can see that I can't. And Father didn't understand it, so I had to try. That's all.
You set me on my path. Regardless of what you think. I respect and I honor you.
And I do the same. Look at you now.
This gift. What a marvelous thing it's become.
I feel like I don't deserve it.
Oh, no, not at all. You absolutely do. I still remember... What was that boy's name? That nasty one at the jousting?
The Magronas.
I remember. No matter how horrible they were to you, how upset you would be, and you wanted to give it all up. But when I said I would go and I would beat them up, or I would have Father take action against their family, you said no. That you didn't want to do with it that way. You've always had a kind heart, a gentle soul. If anyone deserves the gift of seeing beauty in the world, it's you.
Thank you.
Look at me. Normally I am the emotionless one, and here I am shedding tears.
I got something for you.
A gift?
Well, it doesn't quite. It's not as artisanal as the gauntlet you gave me. But something, hopefully, that you'll like. And out of his coat, it'll be the broken picture of the family that he took from the rubble of the manor. I want you to have this.
She takes it, holds it, looks at it.
I want you to be at peace, sister.
She clutches it to her heart. Peace? I didn't think it would be possible. I think I can now. I did everything I could to punish those that took them. Those that have fled. Well, if you find any of them out there, and she looks up, you finish them. You finish what I can't. But I'll find peace here, I think, now. I think I do know what I want to do. I want to build something. Not weapons, not Ethereum, not airships, but something. I don't know what yet, but something. Something that will make the lives of people of Gusthaven and the other Sky Cities better. Not just airships, but something to really, I don't know, balance things out. No more nobility, no more common folk. Something that brings us to equal level. Something that makes life for everyone better.
I like the sound of that. And I know you're more than capable. So you'll no longer be needing this, and I take the mask. But I will.
She nods. Moonstar is a symbol, not a person. A symbol of light's justice, to illuminate dark places. That's what Moonstar is. Take that with you, but keep that in mind. And make sure that you come back.
No promises, sis.
I suppose logically I can't expect you to, but I will be praying for it. To our newly reborn goddess.
I suppose I should come back and see if you've done anything good.
Yes, you should. Certainly you need to come back and see the house that I have rebought from the people that you sold our land to.
Oh yes, have you got the paperwork for that?
No, I do not. They are being stubborn about the nature of your agreement. Some sort of the secret base that is built underneath the land.
I don't know what you mean.
It's fine. I will. They are
They are lacking in certain things that I think I can provide, and we will negotiate an agreement. And it will take time, but I hope by the time you return, there'll be a new house waiting.
Good.
She nods.
I'll see the paperwork. Hand it over to you.
And in typical Aerois fashion, she will offer to shake your hand.
I'll shake it.
She like shakes your hand.
I let go.
Yeah.
I bow.
She bows back.
Good to see you, sis. And I start walking away.
You too, brother. That's it.
Does she turn around?
As in, like, when you leave the room?
Yeah.
Do you mean
I
she
want to catch
watches
her
you leave?
unawares and then give her a massive hug.
Okay, like, so she kind of, like, watches you leave, thinks, like, you have to literally get to the point where you're about to go downstairs, and then you hear her, like, turn and begin, like, and then she hears you come, and it's like, oh, for God's sake. For God's sake, and she kind of gives you a hug. But yeah, watches you leave.
Love you, sis.
I love you too, Lucius. Take care.
I'll try.
Come back. All right. Anything else from that side of the table?
Sancho?
You've got one more thing.
Do you want to do that at the dinner? Or do you want to do that before? Because then we can go straight into
maybe
big
before
dinner.
then.
Sure.
For one more, it's short.
You got one more before dinner time?
Yeah.
Sure, let's do that. We'll do that, then we'll do Century, and then if you want to do something, we'll grab you as well, Ayla, and then we'll do big dinner time.
I want to go visit my girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hold her hand real awkwardly.
Okay. Well, so you would find you'd have to go to the Astoria, and you find in one of the kind of these hangar bays, basically, on the sides of the enormous colossal ship, you find the Twin Star with its modifications, its kind of shortened wingspan, kind of rebuilt, looking more like a freighter, like now. It's not like a freighter, but like a kind of Millennium Falcon-y kind of like, it's compact, but the wings are compacted, but it's been expanded a little bit. It's like a full retrofit, designed to work with the Astoria and other ships and things like that better. You can see that she is, Thalia, you basically just see a pair of like legs sticking out from underneath where she's like working on something, like, and she's just call out, Kyrie! Bring me the magic thing, the one that connects the magic thing to the other magic thing. No, not that one, that one. Yeah. And you just see like Kyrie like flapping over, kind of like clutching it in her wing claws, like with her wings. And she's like, I've got this one. The scary lady has all the other ones. I don't know if this is the right one. She's like, oh, forgot the dead woman's fine. She's harmless, mostly. And then she's like, psh, 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 psh. And then Kyrie sees you and it's like, oh! Thalia, Nova's here. Hi, Nova.
Hello, girlfriend.
You hear her. Please don't just call me that. Like, for God's star's sake. And then she.
Hello, Thalia, my girlfriend.
She like slides out and like looks at you, and you can see like her elven like tan skin now. She has like kind of like not oil smudges, but like dirt and dust and stuff over her, and she's quite sweaty, and she like white, and she's just like she looks at you with this kind of like, and she's like, really? Please, you're such a dork. Oh my God.
I love seeing you too.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Are you finished like killing gods or whatever now?
It was just the one god, actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I get confused. Oh yeah, sorry. One god, one tyrannical astral space emperor.
Yeah. Well,
Is he dead or?
the space emperor's not dead.
Oh,
but
that's a shame.
we did give him quite the beating.
You don't think? I mean, do you think that he still might wipe out my record of like all my crimes?
Oh, I could ask him. I'll ask him.
See.
Yeah.
Girlfriend with benefits, and she'll slide out and she'll walk over to you and like wrap an arm around your waist and like pull you in. Like Thalia is aggressively like intimate, and like she'll pull you in and like look down at you, you know, kind of like looking down at you with her elven features. Now it's always a bit strange to not see the snakes. Like you were so used to like the snake kids. Yeah, I mean they're around. They're just chilling out up in the ship. But like she like looks down at you and she's like, "Missed you, kid."
I missed you too.
Yeah, she'll give you a smooch. So
Just purple.
Yeah.
Bright purple.
do I get some of your company and time before you go off to fight another god or something?
That depends.
Oh.
Got a question for you.
Oh God, please, you're not. Is it gonna be the question?
It's a question.
Okay. Your friend Lucius is like really insistent. Like he thinks I can't see him, but I see him.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not subtle.
Yeah. No, I'm not ready for that.
No, me neither. Good.
No.
Thank the
No.
stars. Okay, good. Okay, nice. All right, go ahead. Yeah, what's the question?
Do you want to go on a mission to space with me where we might both die?
She looks down at you. She furrows her brow. You idiot, what do you think we're doing? And she like points at the twin star. You think I'm just doing this for what?
I thought you might be wanting to go back out into space and doing like space stuff, like your missions and that.
Well, I've done the whole space pirate thing. I've stolen stuff. I've like, you know what I haven't done? Fly out to the edge of astral space and fight a mad god. Never done that before.
It sounds pretty fun, doesn't it?
And we might die, right?
Absolutely,
Cool.
we probably will die.
You know, I always used to say, the higher the chance of death, but it might be really fun.
Oh, that's so
That
wise.
sounds like a famous saying. Yes, I'm gonna write that down.
I kind of remember.
Gimli from Lord
No.
of the Rings at the
No.
Certainty of death. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, no, she knows what she was saying. I was a lot more drunk back then. Maybe that has part to do with it. But no, I mean, me and Kyrie, we're locked in. Big cat.
I mean,
We're all ready to go.
Just to be clear, I was thinking of coming here and telling you, no, you shouldn't join us because I want you to be safe. I want you to be alive. I want
to be safe. I want you to be alive.
This is exactly what I thought would happen.
Yeah, you want me to be safe and stay at home and bake cookies and
Oh, I would like some cookie. Can you bake?
No, I'm terrible.
Okay,
I'm terrible
well,
at cooking.
same.
I lived off like re-magicked foods for like years. Kyrie's pretty good. The feathers do sometimes get in it though.
Oh yeah, having a bird friend, feathers get everywhere.
Yeah. But, you know, she's pretty good. But no, listen, of course we're coming, kid. Of course we're coming along. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just wait for the world to end or for you to win and come back. That's not me, honey. We're going to be on there. Also, you need this. And she slaps the twin star. I've looked at all of these other little crystal ships you have. Garbage. Trashed. This baby, pat, pat, pat. Gonna kill so many weird Hadar creatures.
Thank you.
Fuck's sake.
Slaps the top of it.
Something falls out the other side.
Fuck! Oh, shit! I gotta fix that. Hey, listen. You're friends with the creepy dead lady, right?
Zara Perel, yes.
Yeah.
She's not that creepy. She just has an aesthetic, and it works.
A creepy aesthetic, yeah.
Ayla walks past. She's creepy. There's no two ways about it, Nova. And keeps going.
That's why I like that one. Listen, I've seen her on the Stormchaser. She's putting that big cannon on. Does she have another one of those? Because
Would you
points
like
to the twin
that?
star.
Would you like it if I fixed you up with a big cannon?
Yeah. That'd be a great. I'll make it up. I'll make it up to you. She'll wait for you.
Okay. Do you know what? It's gonna be fun. And after all, being dead ain't so bad.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. We're gonna have that conversation, but not today.
I didn't tell you.
You didn't tell me. No, I had to find it out from everyone else.
Who told you?
I'm not telling you that. It was Quill.
Yeah.
It was Quill.
I was gonna tell you.
I mean, I can't be mad at you because I did a lot of dumb shit. So I can't be that mad at you, but also, as you have probably gathered, I'm a bit fickle. You know, fae, princess, all that kind of stuff. It's in my nature. The way I see it is, you know, you're mortal. You're mortal. You're gonna die someday. I might not, because of the whole archfey thing. But I'd rather go on one crazy ride and die with you than just live for like another 600 years drinking and being bored. That's probably the nicest thing I've ever said to someone.
That really is. I'm gonna put that in my diary.
Yeah, we should.
I'm gonna put some hearts around
That's a
it.
quote. That's that, yeah.
Tell you what though, I got better. It's
Pretty good.
Hey,
1 to 10.
it was quite peaceful. Yeah.
Which one? 8 or 9?
8, 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'd go for that.
More books. Hey, if I die again, would you like be crazy sad?
For a little bit.
Yeah. I'd like you to move on, but I'd want you to be really sad.
I mean, how, like, for a mortal, how long's, like, a long time?
I don't know. A good year.
A year? Yeah, I can do you a year of sad. Yeah, that's easy.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, thank the stars. Oh, man. That works for me. That's
Okay.
really good. Yeah, a year? Oh, inconsolable. Won't touch another person for the whole time.
Oh.
Be so sad.
Okay.
And that, we're good. A year, right?
Yeah,
that's,
year.
That's good?
Pinky promise?
Oh, yeah.
Pinky promise.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to kiss you again.
Okay.
Okay, and then she and then yeah, you can spend as much time with Thalia as you like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Good quill.
Ayla,
I need.
Oh, hi.
is there something you would like to do before we
I
tie
think
things up?
Ayla will probably just want to go to where she grew up on Aerois.
The Aerois, right?
Yeah, the Aerois clan. So she wants to go to like the clan was always like on a cliff overlooking the sea, and it was very windy on the cliffs, and the Air clan, that's where they kind of got that and the name of the hammer and everything. So she just kind of wants to go there.
Yeah.
To just
Yeah. So the Aerois clan being wild elves, they're somewhat nomadic. They might settle down for like in a place for a couple of years.
yeah.
And then they tend to move on. You return to the last place you knew they would be. You know there's a chance they might have moved on. When you arrive, you find that a large amount of the Aerois clan have moved on. Many of the sort of temporary houses and tents and camps that they, live in have been packed up and have moved on. But there's still a couple. And this happens sometimes. Wild elves find a place that they find peaceful, they connect with, and they build more permanent homes. And they kind of live as like hermits. They kind of live there as just, one-offs, people that like just decide to live in that area of the land and, live off the land, hunt, eat, live by themselves, often in solitude. When you arrive, you see that there is this stone cottage, probably has been built over the last year, still kind of being built in parts of it, and a campsite, a couple of tents, and sat by the campfire. It's maybe like not quite evening, but they're clearly getting everything ready for the nighttime. There's like some roasted half a deer kind of being ready to be cooked. There's just this old wild elf. Muscles still there, but taut and wiry, and it's somebody who's quite, a bit elderly, maybe in their 60s, 70s human years, but still keeps themselves very fit, and gnarled hands, grey beard, kind of cropped short, one long braid just down his chest and along his arm, tattoos all faded but very present. No shirt, just like a kind of fur collar, and then the traditional like kilt with a tartan of the Aerois clan. And he looks up at you with that wary like, stranger, and kind of looks at you. If you're looking for anyone, there's not much people, there's nobody around here.
Not a stranger. Just coming back to an old place I used to live.
Come closer.
I'll walk up.
He like looks at you, and when he sees you, he's like, forgive me. The eyes, they're not what they once were. I remember you. The one that was found.
Yep, that's me.
What was your name, girl?
Ayla.
Ayla. Ah, yeah. She who was lost. I remember you. You probably don't remember me. I was a hunter. Wasn't often around when you were growing up. I heard about you.
All fantastic stories, I would assume.
We're wild elves, girl. Yes, they're all fantastic stories, whether we get up to good or not. They're all stories. Come, a member of the clan, sit by the fire. You hungry? Need drink?
Yeah.
Sit.
Well, I've got a few stories of my own now since I've been here.
You looking to tell them or keep them to yourself?
I'll tell them. Last time I was here, I didn't have any to tell. Didn't know who I was.
And I would be glad to hear them. I'm sorry that the others aren't here. They left maybe half a year ago.
I didn't expect them to be. Just wanted to come and look out over the cliffs again. Look at the sea.
That's why I stayed. Always felt something drawing me to these seas. I like it when there's a storm.
Me too. Maybe that's why this is where I felt like I needed to come back to.
Probably would have stayed like me, somewhere like this.
Maybe, but I was trying to find out why I had abilities that some people didn't here.
Did you find out why?
Yeah, kind of. Still a bit weird.
Weird's good.
Yeah.
The world wasn't weird. It'd be very boring.
Did find more wild elves though. More like me.
Assholes?
Oh, of course, all of them.
Good.
But,
Good.
you know, some of them had some pretty cool things. This one guy was like really good with fire powers.
Useful.
Yeah. Put some fire into a weapon.
That's a neat trick.
It's pretty good.
I mean, he like picks up a stick out of the fire. Oh, look, I made fire.
Does it cast light?
Yeah.
It's not bonfire.
Yeah.
Magic.
It's not
It's
bonfire.
not. It's normal fire.
Yeah.
Well.
Ayla.
Tell you what, I'll go get you a drink. You start telling me these stories of yours, Ayla of the Daith.
Yeah, she'll put the hammer down in the middle of the circle. That's where I got this. Here.
I remember this. Don't remember it looking like that.
I've made a few improvements. Well, friends of mine have made it. I have friends. That's weird. But
That is weird for a while.
I know,
to
right?
have friends.
yeah, I know. Well, okay, I'll say friends. Yeah, I'll say friends.
Well, like you said,
Took a while.
like I said, weird. Weird's good.
It's fine.
I'll accept it.
It's fun when your friends can kind of make your weapon really cool.
Oh, that's very useful. And he like looks at it. I remember this. It's just a dull, lifeless hammer, broken. Nobody wanted it. They always thought it was bad luck. Last people who wielded this, I remember them, all killed. Every one of them who took this out of the camp, all died. It used to be something that people were afraid to take. Thought it was bad luck, evil spirits, that sort of thing. A few of us didn't believe in it. But I think when it was given to you, it was different. They knew that there was something about this that didn't belong here. Not amongst the people. I think that maybe because you weren't born amongst us, maybe it was meant for you.
It has smacked a few titans across the face.
I don't know what a titan is, but sounds
Basically a god,
right.
apparently.
Don't believe in gods.
No, me neither, but it's fun to hit them in the face,
Good.
you know?
Proves that they're not that
Exactly.
not that big a deal.
You can hit it. So, and I guess I'll probably just go through all of the stuff that Ayla's learned and the places that she's been
Yeah.
with this old wild elf.
Well, he introduces himself. He says his name is Aina, and he's been here for a long time, and he's nearing the end of his life. Like he'll tell you that he's not gonna last much longer. Elves tend to be pretty spry until a certain point, and then it's just they're gone. But he roasts this deer. He brings you out. Be like a whiskey-esque drink, like a homebrew kind of made thing. It's strong, but he has like bottles of it in the cottage. Probably gives you one to take with you. But yeah, you spend the night with the fire, the stars, just telling stories to him. And then when you're done, he tells you stories. They're simpler stories, but stories of his life. Tells you about his family that he had, and the stories. Yeah.
I think at the end of the night, Ayla will go and just sit on the edge of the cliffs and just feel the wind that blows along, and look out over the sea.
When you do, watch late into the night, the weather begins to change. Out, far, far out at sea, moving across, not coming this way, a storm. You see the thick clouds even in the night. As the sun is setting, you're kind of just beginning to see them as the lightning, the thunder rumbles over you. It feels good. You feel a connection to it, this primal energy. You hear a voice. A voice you recognize. It's far away, distant voice. And it comes from the belt in you, almost like sounding up through your body. Give that red bastard one good hit from me. And you just hear the voice of the god who called himself Thor reverb in your mind. You feel that surge of strength. All right.
Yes, I think she probably before she left would have gotten more of the tartan fabric that she had made.
Yeah.
And just probably tied it around a tree nearby where the Aerois was, where she was found.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just tie an extra bit of that tartan around the tree before she leaves.
Okay.
Have a look out over the cliffs again, and
Aina will make a promise to look after that tree until he passes. Make sure that like it doesn't break away or somebody doesn't take it and stuff like that.
And she'll probably say to him that the whole of Aerois is home now. I used to think that this one spot was, but it's the whole planet. It's everyone in it. And I looked for who I was, where I came from, and found out that it didn't really matter.
I don't think so. Glad you came to the same conclusion. The only thing about home can be anywhere, can be anyone, as long as you've got the strength to protect it.
I hope I do.
Kind of looks you up and down. You might be all right.
With that, we will end. As Nova, I imagine you would gather the family. Would you like it to be in Gusthaven or Horizon? Or even the Astoria, or the Stormchaser?
I think maybe the Astoria.
Yep.
Break new ground.
Yep. There are living areas. The Astoria was built to house people. It was a city once, and a section of it has been set aside for you guys, for the upcoming journey. You know, you'll have the Stormchaser, but the Stormchaser can be anchored and tied to the Astoria. It's a lavish kind of place. There's a kind of almost, the walls are made of this white crystal. Everything is polished, smooth, and clean. It feels a little empty, maybe. The people here haven't had much time to furnish it. But soon enough, anybody that you wish, you tell me who you would like to invite and bring along, will arrive. And it's a large room, banquet laid out. There's space, a kitchen for Nova's mother to begin preparing a feast, and the rest of the family. Begin preparing food for everyone. Drink has been laid out. Everything has been prepared. Who would you like there to be?
I guess the easiest for me is all of my family, including, mum, dad, sister, Tornado, Thalia, Kyrie, and Big Cat.
Yep. As you kind of enter, you can see Nova's dad, Wade, right? Mm-hmm. Is playing with Big Cat. They're like chasing each other around, like, and Wade will do that thing of like, he'll like run away from Big Cat and then stop and then turn, and Big Cat will like pounce, and then Wade chases after Big Cat and he runs away. Like they are chasing each other around, and Thalia's like laughing her head off at this, like absolutely. It's just like he doesn't do this with anyone. I've never seen him do this. Your mum is like busy shouting like, "Wait, stop playing around! Get in here and help me!" And he's just like, "Just a minute, just one more round," and stuff like that as you guys enter. What about Quill?
I think I would invite obviously notable members of the Messenger Guild, including
Mama.
My mama. I would probably. I mean, she's in the Feywild. I don't know if she would make the journey, but I'd probably send a message to Hope. Yes, Hope. And I mean, I have teleportation to the Feywild.
You don't need it.
So I mean,
you don't need it. You send the message. Buddy! Oh my goodness! Of course we'll be there. Is it okay if I bring a friend?
Sure. Yes. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Mom, there's one more.
Like what? Lucius told me he's bringing someone extra. Oh my god! Okay, hang on. And like she begins pulling. Like, wait, I need you to go to Horizon. Oh, I need magic to get in. It's like this kind of panic. Like, you need to go fetch me more eggs. I need more eggs, and I need more beans. And it's like okay, and like, they run off. Yeah, basically as you're kind of gathering, your mother and the messenger guild arrive very prim and promptly, like arrive. But teleporting to the Astoria through like this kind of. It would appear like a rainbow makes an arch that fills with clouds that become butterflies that like spread out, and it opens. And stepping through is not just Hope, like unicorn, beautiful kind of this like fey unicorn centaur, but with her is Mesmera as well. Yeah, who looks a lot happier and is like, they're linked arms. Like they look like, you know, maybe not romantic, but certainly like very close friends. And she looks a lot healthier. She looks a lot happier. Her hair has been all like tied up, and you can immediately tell Hope's handiwork. It is just strewn with like ribbons and things and flowers. Very Rapunzel when she gets the hair kind of all pulled up. And the two of them come along, and as soon as Hope sees Quill, just charges and like. I miss you, buddy, so much.
I know.
Ow. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting about my horn. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hi.
Ayla, anyone you would like to invite?
Just I think any of the wild elves, like Rethra. I think she'd extend an invite, but be like, oh no, there's a lot of people there, so you know, if you don't want to come, then you don't have to. But you know, it'd be nice if you wanted to. There's food.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But just you know, wild elves don't tend to.
I think Rethra and Vania would come along. Still mourning the loss of Morgaine, but like having like spent some time. And I think Big Jack.
Yay!
The beast folk would probably come along, not wanting to miss out on a party and knowing that Santa can't
There's
be
a giant
there.
rabbit here.
Sorry,
What do they
Mrs.
eat? What do they eat?
Literally anything. No, wait.
Do they do
vegetables?
Vegetarian
Okay,
food.
vegetarian. Okay, I've got this. Carrots.
Fine.
Big Jack's just like, yes, please, ma'am. It's like, oh, very much, please, ma'am. Carrots would be delicious. And he's now suddenly Texan. I don't think he was before. I'm assuming like Arvel.
Arvel,
would be
yeah.
there. Like we're just gonna default that Arvel, Valor, and Max are all there.
Yeah.
So we have the Wild Elves. Sentry. Anybody you would like to invite?
Petal, maybe Starbane.
Would you
Would you invite Starbane?
Yeah.
Okay, you invite Starbane, you send a message. We'll say like Quill sends a message or something like that. Callus would say, I am very grateful for this invitation, but I feel that my presence would be uncomfortable for many. But thank you for inviting me. I do not deserve to be there, but I am grateful for the opportunity. Perhaps another time, when we are on our journey, you and I can meet once more.
I'll hold you to that.
But yeah, he would be... Imagines he would not be most welcome.
I was gonna say, how do I explain to Nova's mom that the guy who's been trying to kill her is now suddenly coming to dinner?
Who said he was trying to kill her? That's Nova paranoia.
We can send some leftovers back with Valor.
I'm so glad
Valor's here.
not here.
Valor's like, I'll take it. All right, so Petal, anyone else you can think of? Any of the Guardians? Yeah, Danica and that will come along. Rain will be there.
Yeah, like it's Guardians we met in like Callie's Rest.
Sure. Have a bunch of Guardians there.
Yeah, just a bunch of the Guardian
Yeah.
crew.
And Nova's mum's like, Guardians don't eat, right?
No.
Okay, great.
Warm plates though. I'll sort that out.
So, yeah, okay, good. She's like, she's like, can I, those crystal dwarfs,
Can they help?
Oh, absolutely. Have they not been helping?
Well, I don't know how to ask them.
Okay,
They're so
Literally
weird.
just ask them. They will be so happy.
She like
Help.
sticks her head out. It's like, Crystal Dwarf. And there's one that's like, hello, ma'am. My name is Amber 2. And it's just like, I need 4 of you. Very well, ma'am. 3 just merge out of the walls. She's like, I don't care. Come in. Like,
Same
cook this,
time.
do this, do that. And they're like, very well. We've never cooked human food before. Boop, 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 boop. Like, they're doing that. What about Lucius?
Sky Prince Aradan,
Yep, absolutely. There, without a doubt.
Adea,
There, without a doubt.
the officers of the Stormchasers. So we
Mm-hmm.
have Aerois,
Yep.
and I think the leader of the Wolf Pack,
Yep. Kamara.
Yeah.
That's right. It's been a while.
Faith.
Beth, yep.
Grelano.
Grelano.
Yep.
Howard.
Howard, Lancian, Penny.
You know,
yeah.
that.
Yep, the core, the named officers, basically.
So not the rest of the wolf pack.
I literally have to stop them at the door.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry. There's
Yeah,
just
no,
not
they're,
enough.
they're like, God, but we can smell it. It smells so good.
We'll save you some. We'll have another feast.
Kamara's like, back off, all of you. Go on, clear off. Captain's orders.
I'll come lower deck and see you all later.
There's one exception.
Yes.
Because you didn't see them how they got past you.
Yes.
In the corner.
Yes! Food does smell good.
No, they never speak. They're just,
yeah.
they're just in the corner. Licking their lips, looking at Quill.
Did we name this one?
He
not?
They're nameless. They're timeless.
did have a name.
He did have a name. I thought he had a name.
Nigel.
I can't remember.
The thing is, he's there, and then when you all go to look for him again, he's not there.
Every time I go to point him out, Lucius, you let some
He's
of the
there.
wolf pack
Look,
in.
he's there. He was just there.
right
And
there.
there's nothing.
Quill, you need to lie down. It's like the wizard thing.
This is not like the alien.
Like a little pile of
You saw
bones.
the wizard.
To be fair, the wizard did exist, but I maintain that why the fuck?
Bless you
He-
for trying. Bless you for trying
Group
to.
hallucination.
No.
It is real.
Hey, let's just
through a lot
focus on the
lately.
food.
Where
No.
is he now?
No.
Where
He's
is he
in
now?
another world.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Very
I
convenient.
saw him. Here's his face on a book.
That's a really pretty book.
Is that like a
Well,
Necronomicon?
Oh no, it's not a nice. It's an ugly book.
No, it's I'm just
Okay,
just
like,
duplicate
yeah,
him.
okay.
It's too pretty.
Did you drug me to make me think I saw that lunatic?
I guess I did.
I'm doubting it.
Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss.
No more adventures. No more adventures.
Nova Century Lucius, make a perception check.
Oh, yes.
19.
2.
12.
Lucius. The little face, this brass face on the book, is like. changes, and it's like normal. It's like, did I imagine that?
Anyway,
I'm losing my mind.
All right, so we have the crew of the Stormchaser.
yeah.
Is that it?
Danica.
We've got Danica.
Assume that any major NPCs are present.
There is a catch-all for when you inevitably get mad at us for forgetting one person.
Catch all.
We found them. We
Are you
got them. They're
thinking of
here.
Someone that I forgot.
No, we can't.
No, I was.
Valor,
No.
obviously.
I'm literally just
Max.
asking if they're right, because I might not have anticipated. If there's somebody that I wasn't expecting might be there, such as Callus Starbane. I was not expecting Sentry to be like, yeah, we'll invite him along. I'm
The
like,
ghost of Smeek.
I cast
Bim.
True Resurrection.
Okay. Me.
Do it!
I'm not gonna do that. It costs like 20,000 gold
Ah, we can afford it.
Azaria will do it. She'll do it for free.
for Smeek.
Azaria.
Oh, Azaria will Azaria will do something, but
she'll
it's not
bring
true
something
resurrection.
back.
It's not Smeek.
The daughter of his own.
I mean, it's basically still Smeek.
I'm going to bring back our greatest ally who has died along the way. Bim returns.
Don't tease me. Okay.
Tempt me.
I'm also trying to keep in tight. Like, are we over time? I think we're over.
We
time.
are.
We are
Yeah.
overtime.
Is it okay if we extend a little bit longer? And is that okay with you, Samuel, back in
God,
the heavens? Is that all right?
Gotta tell my mans is.
Sorry, just because I want to wrap up a couple of things.
Sam, are you good?
He's good.
He's
okay.
good.
Perfect.
A little bit more.
If there are specific things you want to say at this dinner, we're going to go round each for one thing. And Sentry, I know perhaps after everyone else has left, when it's just the team, is that when you want to
Yeah,
do your
cool.
thing? All right. So, let's start with Lucius. Lucius, is there anything you want to kind of talk about with everyone here? Is there like anything specific you want to do in this dinner, like with all these beloved NPCs who are here,
Probably
many of
not.
whom will probably still come with you, but there are definitely going to be some people here that won't.
Yeah, I'll probably stand up and ding a glass.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hello, everyone. It's Lucius, captain of the Stormchaser here. If you didn't know. Oh, wait. No, I think everybody knows. Good to see you all these fresh faces. This is our moment of peace, our moment of clear skies, if you will.
Clear skies, as everyone's sort of like, yeah, clear skies.
We have the biggest task ahead of us all. The greatest. And if we don't succeed, then the greatest fall. So, I just want to thank you all for getting us to where we are today. Without each and every one of yours devotion, your kindness, your help, we wouldn't have made it this far, I think. So, from the champions of Aerois to our dearest friends and allies, who will be joining us or not joining us, I raise a glass to you all. Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Clear
Clear
skies.
skies.
Clear skies.
Clear skies. Clear skies.
Also, me and Sky Prince Aradan might be dating. Anyway,
What was that?
Arahan just sort of like puts his hand over like this and goes a bit red. You must learn subtlety a bit, Lucius, I think. As that bomb drops.
what?
Quill is livid.
Nova
I tackle
doesn't
her.
have to be a big speech to everyone, but is there anybody here that you want to specifically have a conversation with, or anything, any moment in this gathering that you want to have? And like, you know, emotions are high. Like we can say that maybe this happened before Lucius's speech, but like, I just want each person to have a moment where if there's somebody specific they want to speak to, if there's something they want to say to the group, now is the time.
I think, to be honest, Nova's pretty tapped out, and before all of this, she would have obviously had quiet time with her family and,
Yep.
you know, some tears and hugs with mom and dad and all that. And yeah, I don't think there's anything really specific. I think she's still reeling from everything and processing everything, and just happy, like keeps coming back to the 5, and just, you know, all through the night, just like knowing looks like just.
Yeah. And I think that there would be a plan for you all to stay up and gather once everyone else has left. Maybe,
There's generally a mood
yeah,
that
like
we
a
can all
knowledge.
feel of like we need to
have a quick moment. Yeah.
time, yeah.
There would definitely be some point after Lucius's speech that she just catches an eye and is like,
Me? Oh.
podcast listeners, lewd gestures are being made.
Yeah. The same new gesture.
Bingo.
Quill.
Circle.
Anyone you would specifically want to speak to? Anything you would specifically want to say or do in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any. Same as Nova, I don't have any major speeches or anything
No,
to
it
make.
doesn't have to
but,
be.
Same sort of thing. Generally, just catching up with people.
Yeah.
Some people more than others, because I refuse to message.
Yep.
But yeah, the same sort of thing that I
Spending that time.
would find more comfort returning back to the Stormchasers and just relaxing with them than others.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayla, what about you?
Ayla's not a speech kind of person.
No, yeah.
She'd probably just take some time to spend with the wild elves and make sure that they probably toast to the fallen and just have a moment, since they haven't had a moment since that big fight, and say how much that she appreciated them helping, and that she's glad that she's found people that are like her, and
Great.
just a quiet moment with them
That's
off
it.
to the
That's
side.
what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And there's lots of those quiet moments, you know. I think you would probably see like Valor and Arvel having you know, a little side conversation at some point. You would see probably Hope and Mesmera like just enamored with Big Jack and like just like chatting to him and like having a whale of a time chatting to him. Like these little moments of connection and humanity and peace and companionship and friendship. Either people that they've never met before or some people that have known each other for a while now and forge these deeper bonds.
I'll probably also try and make Max laugh.
Probably eventually at some point you will. You can tell me what that is. But eventually people leave, they head home, things end, cleared away, and it's just the 5 of you left together. And I think Sentry wanted to gather everyone up.
I guess, yeah, she'll just stand up and gesture to everyone. My fearless, wise, curious, glorious friends. Since I last swore my oath, everything has changed. My duties, my life, Aerois itself has changed. I stand before you today with a promise to all of you. I want you to know that whatever future waits for us out there, I will always be with you. Thank you for giving me a new hope and a new purpose. And she'll take out Starbreaker, hold it up to whatever end, and then she'll turn the tip down and plunge it into the floor. And then she will get on one knee and say her new oath. For the glory of joy in dawn's new light, protect all hope from evil's blight. My might stands true, till dark undone, till all are one. And then as she says that, there's a slight flicker of change in her armor, where it was like once a grey, it flickers to like a white, and then her vine hair sort of turns from green to gold, but it's like a second, and then it like dissipates.
And with that, my friends, we're going to bring this episode to a close.
Oh my god!
Thank you so much for joining us.
That's cool as hell.
For the next episode, as we enter the final chapter of Aerois, as the battle must be taken to Hadar. We'll see you next time. Take care. We love you. Bye-bye.
Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Fucking re.
Words need to be had.
She had them. She had them.
When you're a DM and you get a little DM message of like, this is what I want to do, and you read the little, and you're like, that's very good.
Hey, you got that written down?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah, please send it to us. I need to write this in my journal.
Darkness undone.
Put it on Discord.
I have words I'm going to
All
save
one.
for the very end of the campaign, but that was a very cool episode, and I'm very happy, very pleased, very proud.
Yeah.
What a good one. Hey, listen, I'm afraid we've done it to you again, guys.
We got you good.
You again, it's pre-recorded. No, I'm sorry. We've got a couple of us who are going away. We're going to be, this episode and the next one are probably going to be a bit pre-recorded, and then we might be having a week break. We're going to let you know what's going on at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry about that. We will read all your messages out when we are fully back, and we will read all of those and your delightful messages. We definitely will catch up
We
on
need
them
to
and
hear
everything
your
else.
responses to this episode.
Yeah.
I really want to hear your responses to this one.
Yeah.
We'll probably be in, I'll certainly be in chat, like reading some of the stuff going on and stuff, because I want to see people's reactions to certain things.
He wants to see you cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
went some real gorgeous places.
It did. It was a good one. It was a good little episode of hope. And with
And
that,
vengeance.
I love.
little sneak peek, during the break, I said to Tom, I was like, you know what you need to do.
I came in and he was like, do you wanna come with me?
And trying to beat up an old man with me.
That's a great one. Really good. Everybody did a fantastic job. Great role play. Great comedy. Great heartfeltness.
Yeah, everything.
Everything was great.
Yeah.
I'm very, very pleased.
Oh, no, don't, I'm gonna go.
I'm fine. I'm good. Leaky eyes. I am medically conditioned. I have a doctor's note that says I have leaky eyes. See you next time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.